Okay. So, not really sure where to start. Um, maybe this is a therapy session. Maybe it's not. I don't want to be too active. Some of my videos, I'm really like, oh, it's like a lot of personality and colors and stuff like, whatever. But I guess it's like, so internet, internet's my name. Like, so internet, you know, did you figure it out early or did you figure it out later? Because if you figured it out early, bitch, you must be concealing. And if you figured it out later, bitch, you must be smelling yourself. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. But it's like, oh, are you a bear with teeth? Wait, no teeth. No teeth and no claws, right? Okay. It's like, okay, well, wait for the dust to settle, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Oh, was something wrong with, it's like, is something wrong with you then, or is something wrong with you now? And there was nothing wrong with you then. Like, why did all that shit happen? And if, like, you figured it out now, and you were confident then, like, are you confident now? Like, how do you know the next 20 years, not be like the first 20 years or the first 20 years? Like, how old am I, right? So it's like, it's like, oh, do you really have street cred and blah, blah, die by the sword and live by the sword, die by the sword and blah, blah, blah. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Tone it down if you can't handle it, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's too hot, what is it? If it's too hot in the kitchen, blah, blah, what's anchoring me, right? If you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. Like, why is this bum bitch on here, you know what I mean? Like, same place, use a background, use a filter, bitch, put on some makeup. You know what I mean? Like, this is what people are saying, right? Am I a perfectionist? Am I excellence? Like, oh, well, she wasn't cursing when she was 15, and like, oh, the church and blah blah, did they did a number on her, blah blah blah. So it's about family mom, whatever, blah blah. So it's like, oh, so like, is she smart or is she dumb, right? Because it's like, oh, so you did all this shit, like all these degrees. Like, first of all, either you did it, but it was because it was some energy somewhere in the ether somewhere that like actually was manipulating you, so you didn't really do it, so we don't even give you credit for it. It's like, who's writing? Like, I write my own books, I do my own stuff, but like, I write my own shit, I write my own like stuff or whatever it is. And so people are like, oh yeah, well maybe like either she didn't do it, it's like, oh, that's just BS. Like, people do background checks on that type of shit, but like, you don't want to do a background check on the good stuff. It's like, oh yeah, this bitch is a bum bitch, this bitch is like whatever, blah blah blah. But like, you don't want to do the research on the good stuff, right? Like, it's like, okay, so like, one for one, like, oh, so you did do this, but it's a drawback. Like, everything has a drawback. So what's a professional? Like, you have licenses, blah, 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 and it's getting lost, right? So anyway, let me go back. Let me refocus. Relax, relate, release. But it's from a different world. But so let me go back. So I guess the idea is like, oh, if I did all this stuff, like, either it's like, oh, that's BS. Like, people don't, like, they could easily find out and confirm that I did the good stuff, right? The degrees and the travel. People just want to go like, oh, no, that bitch just photoshopped. Like, what the heck? Oh, no, that bitch just like CGI. I don't even know what CGI is. I just heard it somewhere. But like, I think it has to do with like technology, right? Like, oh, she just put this shit together. Like, she can't really do ballet, like, or she can't really dance or both. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I have a talent and I am disciplined. I turn my talent to a skill and it's an art. Like, and I can make up for all like the other stuff. Like, did I start at 2? Did I start at 5? Dancing, all this stuff, whatever. Did I ever make money at it, whatever? Like, I come to have stage presence, right? It's like, well, we see you like performing by yourself, but how do you do in front of everybody else? And like, come out and say you can pair up, and so now this bitch is giving the game away, blah blah. It's like, no, like, who doesn't know? Like, if like, it's like, you don't know that I know, right? But you think that I don't know, and like, you don't know if I know you know. It's like, everybody else is saying, what the fuck are you doing in their private time? Like, it's like, all of a sudden, like, oh, because she said it, like, you're not all about to say it, like, you're failing to manage and blah blah blah. Are you self-regulating? Like, you can't come here in your stretch pants. It's like, oh, now she's mad because somebody else showed them in stretch pants, but you didn't show them in stretch pants. Oh, she didn't have enough. Oh, is my butt big enough? Oh, my breast big enough? Blah, 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 blah. Like, why am I not bulking up? Blah, blah, blah. Is it better to be skinny your entire life, or is it better to be skinny and then get fat and then get skinny again and then get fat again and then get skinny again? 70 things, sorry. So anyway, but I don't mean to like, kind of go from here, jump from here to there, whatever. I really am focused and I concentrate, blah, blah, blah. But like, you know, this is kind of a free flow, free verse. I guess I call it a free flow writing, but it's like you know, free flowing verse, or I forget whatever. In literature, in rap, like freestyle, whatever. So you just have to talk off the cuff, right? Like, you know, let me say it and you see if you can catch up, right? It's like a little game, you know. Can you catch the reference? You know, do you catch the nuance? Do you catch you know, whatever, what I'm saying, either, you know, verbally or energetically, or with my hand movements or with my facial expressions. Like, you get the idea. Am I an actress? Am I an actor? Am I real? Am I fake? Am I live? Am I dead? Blah, 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 blah. Right, you get the idea. But anyway, so like, it's like, you know, if I'm doing these things, it's like, well, how am I doing these things? Like, am I doing it the hard way? Am I doing it the easy way? What does it mean to work hard? What does it mean to work smart, right? Because, I mean, if you can pay for it, no big deal. People are like, oh, well, this bitch is working so hard. Why the fuck is she doing squats and shit? Just go, like, get a tummy tuck. You know, people make different decisions. And if you have the money to do it, that's no big deal, right? Because, like, maybe you could defend it, or I guess you can defend it in that way. People make different decisions, you know, no big deal. The decisions I made are my personal decisions, you know what I mean? And, like, I get confidence from God, but, like, you know, I just, you know, this is the way I choose to live my life. And so anyway, so either, like, so I guess it's the whole thing. So either, like, it's kind of catch-22, whatever, but, like, it's kind of like either she didn't do it, like, it's just BS, and I'm not going to check, like, people don't check their work, they don't proofread, they don't edit or whatever, but they just, like, want to believe something, go with it, and then, like, boom, send it off. You know, it's like, okay, it's like, boom, okay, I see this shit, like, it's like all this shit, like, I see her this, I see her Instagram, I see her YouTube, I see, like, her books, blah, 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 and it's like, okay, there's no way anybody could have done that in, like, you know, a few, to, like, a quadrillion decades, right? So it's like, so how could, what is quad, right? What is that? What is the quad? What does the word mean, quad, right? What is a triangle? You know, what is a square? You know, what is a rhombus, right? This is basic, like, geometry and stuff. But my idea, like, when I'm saying certain words, sometimes I'm not using the exact words. Sometimes I'm using words for words or metaphors for words. So, you know, I know a lot of doppelgangers like to use sound bites and take shit out of context or whatever, but, you know, whatever. No big deal. I saw like doppelgangers, like TMZ talks about doppelgangers or whatever. So, you know, whatever. It's like, you go look it up. Google it. Google me, baby. What was that song? A jiggling baby, a go ahead baby. A jiggling baby, a go ahead baby. I don't know. I'm an 80s baby. I'll say that. I'm an 80s baby, right? I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. I grew up in the church, but, like, I don't know, for some reason, like, I wasn't at Go-Go's. Like, I don't know if I ever went to, like, I don't think I ever, I'm from, you know, from the city. I don't know if I ever, from Washington, from DC, from District of Columbia, Washington, DC, whatever. But, like, I don't know how people, I don't know, I forget the name of it. Was it the Icebox? I don't know if I went to the Icebox. I think I was in Georgia Avenue, whatever. But I went to the Reeve Center or whatever. I think it was back when I went there, Backyard Band or whatever. Rare Essence, I remember Rare Essence when I was a kid. And, like, Junkyard Band, I think, showed up when I was in middle school. So I don't think I didn't really go to a lot of Go-Go's, but, like, I, like, am Go-Go. I guess I did. I went to more Go-Go's than I know. Like, I went to, like, the amusement park, and Rare Essence was there, you know, and I, like, kind of, it was cool. And amusement park has always been work for me. I'm like, why they call it an amusement park? This shit is not fucking amusing. But anyway, but, like, I mean, not that I don't like amusement parks in that regard. I'm just saying it's work. It's work. I went there in heels one time. Like, how do you walk around the whole amusement park in heels? It was crazy. My people were like, ooh. But, like, so anyway, but, like, I'm like, let me go back because I'm gonna digress. So anyway, like, it's like either I didn't do it, right? Like the books and all this type of stuff. Like, people don't want to, like, check it, and they check it, they just try to discount it. So either if they find out it's true, they try to make an excuse for why I didn't earn it, like why I didn't earn it or work for it or get it. Like, and it's like, and if I did earn and work for it, get it, like, if I read the books, I did read the books. If I go to class, I did go to class. People make different decisions, no big deal. I'm not telling people to do it. If they figure it out, no big deal, right? But this is the way I choose to live my life, right? So, so I did the hard work, right? I was like, I did it the hard way, some things the smart way, but I also, you know, I also exercise my discretion, right? So, so it's not like I, you know, every now and again, you know, I might switch it up, you know, switch it up a little bit, because, you know, just throw them off, keep the mystery, keep it, you know, keep it sexy, keep it alive, right, keep it, you know, whatever. So, but, keep it fresh. But like, so, but I think that, the issue is just that, like, so either I didn't do it, or if I did do it, they want to discount it. But if I did do it and I earned it the hard way, it's like, oh, well, it's suspicious because like she did it, she did earn it the hard way, but now she works for the wear. Like, right, I'm young, I'm older than her, but I look younger than her, right? And I got this and I got that. Like, she did it the hard way. She was working all her life or whatever. She's this age, and okay, let's assume she has some talents and some skills or whatever. So like, why is she like, why is she kind of like living like just kind of like mediocre? I'm not mediocre in terms of who I am, but like in terms of like my material accoutrements. Like, am I am I driving this? Am I driving, I don't know. I don't know what I keep wanting to say, Jaguar. I don't even know why I want to say like a Maserati. I don't even know the name of the really big car. I don't know. I had a Mercedes for a short period of time. I bought it used, but the big deal. But it looked, we would never even know the year. What year was it? It's like I think it was 99, and I think I bought it in like 2010. But like it was a SOK, what is it called? It's like escaping me now. But and like, well, if you can't remember, you must not have really did it. It's so funny, like brain scramble. But like 230, SOK 230 maybe, I can't remember, whatever. But like it had a hard top, drop top or whatever. So I was like, diamond in the back, sunroof. On gasoline. I'm kind of old soul sometimes, but anyway, so, and wind me up, Chuck. And it's like, okay, was it her or it's like the generation before her? But it's like, it's like whatever. I guess each successive generation is kind of born with the knowledge product. Like every prior generation, they have to kind of prove at different points, whatever. It makes it fair and evil levels out the plane or whatever. Anyway, but who doesn't know? And if you don't know, like you don't know. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Like it's the Washington Post. And I guess like people like interpret things different ways. Anyway, and if I did do it and I worked hard at it, it's like, well, she did it, she worked hard at it, but like, was she strong enough for people to pay her for it? Was she like smart enough to compel people to like give her what she earned and what was her due and everything? Because people like try to make you bad and outraged and bitter about life. It's like, no, people make different decisions. Like I am, I don't even know outrage. I don't even know what that means. But I'm content with my life. I'm satisfied. I don't know. I don't want to use the word satisfied. Some people think they own certain letters of the alphabet. It's kind of strange, but like I don't know. But I am content. I'm content with life. I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed. God is good. It's like, well, if she didn't play against defense, how would we know? Like, Warren Buffett, like, do you have to have defense? Like, there's something, and defense is different from attacks, right? People are like, oh, we're just playing defense, like, so she can prove it. No, defense is different from attacks, like, in a game, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, we're talking about practice, not a game, I get the idea, but if you, cause, some, like, there are different things that happen in life, like, people, like, have different, like, philosophies about life and stuff like that, but, like, basketball is a game, right? But baseball is a game, football is a game, chess is a game, like some board games, like there are all types of games. Some games like official, like sporting games. There's some games that are like different types of games. Like some people think school, like whatever school, like there are different types of games, right? So like in school, you may play different types of games, right? What is school? School of hard knocks, school of life, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole lot, whatever. What do words mean? Words have severe power, blah, blah, how much do I know? Well, so, and the people get nervous. They're like, oh my gosh, like based on what I'm saying, they think, like they interpret it as like they think that like it's a risk to them because they haven't really figured it out necessarily. But like when the dust settles, they're built in, chase God is good, my religious beliefs in silly hell. So it's not like, people think, like, I don't know what I'm saying. If I know what I'm saying, they think, oh, she must be concealing. She's really smart, so she could lie and get away with it. Like, I don't have, like, what is it? Fucking problem. I forget the song, whatever. But like, it's not whatever. About however it goes, right? So this is not my issues. Like, I'm a good woman. I'm honest woman. I have a good heart. Blah blah blah. And like, I don't have a character problem. I don't have I'm fit. I don't have a character problem. But like, it's like, well, knowing what you know now versus what you didn't know then. I'm not bitter or whatever. What you didn't know then, and like, I don't know, we're supposed to talk whatever. Like the extent of everything that you know now. Like, do you think the people who like made certain decisions and like figured out church early or sinned early in life, do I think that they do I think that they know better or no? Sometimes people be old, be on earth or whatever. Are they being punished or are they being blessed? Like it's like what's really going on? Just because you're old don't mean you're smart. Like you're so smart, why ain't you rich? Right? It's like that's like that's what I'm like. We used to have in a plaque in my like grandfather's house, whatever. But like the idea is just that like age is just one factor, right? I know sometimes, like, depending on whatever the factors are, like, there may be presumptions or burdens or whatever to overcome or inferences, right? Or suggestions, whatever. And there may also be, like, exceptions, exemptions, those types of things, right? And it's like, people want me to explain every single thing. It's like, where's you getting all this shit? Like, I don't talk, if I talk, what they say, bones come out your mouth, you say too much. I don't say too much all the time. Now I can't stop fucking talking. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm disciplined. You get it. I'm disciplined and everything. But like, I guess people want to know what I know. I read a lot of books in my life. I've done a lot of things, I've experienced or whatever in certain ways. And like people say jack of all trades. Like, what is it? Does it matter to be a jack of all trades and king of none? Right? But I'm not really a jack of all trades, right? I really I kind of like get to the what is it, the zenith? Like I get to the end of things and I'm pretty good at them. And it's not that I'm like I think I'm like some things I'm competitive, and some things like I'm excellent, and some things I'm really, really good. I'm not smelling myself in that regard. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you gotta say it. I was dating this guy, so you gotta tell people what you're doing. It's next, for whatever reason, if people don't get the memo, then they keep challenging you over and over again. It's like, I can't do this shit my entire life, or unless people live forever. It's like, am I gonna be immortal? It's like, how do you get Sonic? Boom! Sorry, I know I sound crazy as hell, right? But like, so because that was Street Fighter, I think like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, those are games. I'm telling you, the 80s, baby, 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatever. So, so sometimes when I'm saying things, people may not know if I know the reference. So, I'm I don't know if creative is the right word, like an artist or whatever. So like sometimes I say things and like, it doesn't, some people act, right? There are a lot of things that people do. And I think sometimes people will try to interpret your behavior and try to like say, well, this is that or this is that. And it's like, well, it depends on what a person's like perspective is. Some people, I think, may have some emotional. It's like when people say like things fell short. No. but sometimes like depending on a person's level of emotional strength or discipline or whatever or maturity, like they may feel a certain way about another individual, right? Some people are motivated by anger. Some people are motivated by purpose. Some people are motivated by love. Some people are motivated by calling, right? So some people try to figure me out, like, is she mad? Is she happy? I can't really tell this bitch what's going on with her or whatever. But like, so, but like, I don't want to say I'm an onion. I have layers. And I'm an individual, right? But like, let me just go back. So like, either because I think people, like, a lot of times people are like trying to figure out like who I am, and it's like, well, they can't figure me out and slow down some number. Woo. It's like, well, if they can't figure me out, they can't put me in a box. They just put me over here, right? A list, B list, other. No, how would I, whatever. So they put me over here, like somewhere, and they're like, let me show my hand. Put me over here somewhere because they can't really call it. But I know who I am. It's like, oh, know who you are, and like be comfortable with who you are, and embrace who you are. You know what I mean? And then because it's like, is that about me or is that about you, bitches? You know what I mean? Because like, people think, well, the reason they can't keep up or they can't follow is because they think I must be the problem. But no, I'm not the problem, bitches. You are the problem. But anyway, but like, I guess that's the idea. And it's like, break the bowl, like the Caribbean, like Africa and all that type of stuff, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I'm like, I don't know if the word is modest or humble or whatever, but if you don't like show your strength from every now and again, from time to time, people will test you. They say the smokers will test you, right? But like, that's the idea, right? So, but I'm reasonable, I'm fair, I'm a fair person. I play girl sports, I play basketball, I ran track, I play soccer, whatever. I get along with people, I get, you know, I'm strictly dickly or whatever, but like I get along with people. I don't have, like, people have different issues or whatever. Like, jealousy has never been my issue, envy's never been my issue, whatever. You know, my breast big enough, my butt's big enough, moving on. But like, I think, I think sometimes, like, when people test you, like, sometimes, like, in games, it's okay. Like, okay, I signed up, like, signed up for what? Like, when I signed up for basketball, I'm not signing up for, like, a person to, like, do some random shit. Like, no. But, like, I know, like, sometimes, like, when you go to a baseball game, it's like, well, are you signing up when you go to a baseball game to get hit by, like, a baseball, like, like, randomly, like, in the audience? Like, I'm not audience, sorry, whatever, stands or whatever, when you're a fan or whatever. Like, is that within the meaning of the contract? Is that the risk you're assuming or not? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like there are, like, risks you are assuming, like, within the meaning of the law, right? So sometimes people think, like, oh, you shouldn't have signed up for it. Like, bitch, I wasn't signed up for that. Why do I keep saying it the same way over and over again, right? But, like, so, but when I do sign up for certain things, some people, like, what about Helen Keller? Like, people, I don't know if she was deaf, dumb, and blind, I don't really know. But, like, sometimes people don't really know certain things, right? So, or aren't really, some people choose to play anonymous, or that's not really what I mean, but like some people don't want to know everything, right? I mean, just wait for the dust to settle, whatever. What's a more authentic way of knowing or growing or becoming, or like what's the most legitimate way of proving your skill or whatever? People make different decisions, no big deal. Is it better to know or not to know, or to be conscious or not conscious or whatever? So, but like the idea is just that like people make different decisions. But going back, right? So I guess the idea is that like, one, either I didn't, like, my accomplishments, they say either she didn't do it as BS. If I did do it, like, they're like, well, how did I do it? I must have done it like some kind of like, way that wasn't like the traditional conservative way. But okay, assume I did the traditional conservative way, put in the hard work, whatever, I earned it fair and square. And they say, well, she wasn't able to force people to pay her. So either she's like, she works hard and like smart enough, whatever, or like strong enough, whatever. Strong enough, I'll go with strong enough, whatever. But like, am I generally talented or generally skilled? Like, okay, generally talented, spiritual discipline, physical discipline, physical strength, first of all, but physical, I'm strong, not poor, strong, whatever. And then like generally talented, like, and then like I have spiritual discipline, whatever. And then like mental discipline, right? So like I'm actually smart, right? Intelligent, educated, blah, blah, blah. And so, but like, like, was it divided line, right? Do I just think family? Blah, 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 blah. So the idea is just that like, sorry, the idea is that, sorry, it's like noise in the hallway, right? In my apartment, whatever. And so that always happens whenever I start talking and stuff, when I'm getting to like a really like good point. I don't know, it's just like kind of serendipitous on because I don't know, like people just start talking in the hallway. It's a bit of an annoyance to me, but no big deal. It's like quiet enjoyment, like you're interrupting my quiet enjoyment. Like it should take something off my rent, or whatever, or I don't know, whatever. But like so, or payment, penalty, permanent injection, or punishment, whatever. So to the extent of wrong. So my point is just like, so if I've done all this, like, well, she must not be. If she's done everything, then why is she why am I still living like kind of in a like just basic middle class life or whatever? If I'm so talented and stuff and I've done all this stuff, like why am I not like a billionaire, like stuff in Hollywood? Never. People make different decisions, no big deal. You live and you learn, something that function at age, whatever. As long as you live in this opportunity, blah blah blah. So, but like. Like what's motivating me, right? So it's like, oh, well, she just she thinks she's worked hard, but she didn't work hard enough, and like separate the truth from the BS, right? It's like, oh, people like try to make excuses about why, whatever. Is it like unbelievable, hard to believe, or unusual, hard to believe, or unbelievable? Which is it? And so people make different decisions, but no big deal. So anyway, so then the point is that then you get to the point of all that. It's like, okay, so she did all this, right? She's not getting paid. She's not getting paid. Then challenge, right? Or she's not living the life that people who are this talented or whatever are. The life they're typically living. So what's the problem? So they're like challenge, right? So then they challenge, blah blah blah, challenging you, no big deal. And it's like, well, if it's a game, no big deal. Challenge within the meaning of the law, within the meaning of the game, cool, no big deal. But then some people like people just hit below the belt. Seems like in boxing, you're not supposed to hit below the belt. It's like the name of the game. Like it's just like rules. Like it's a timeout, bitch. While you trying to like you know, whatever, why you trying to sneak me on a timeout, whatever. There's a whole lot of stuff. Like, people just don't play by the rules of the game, whatever. Stealth is a little bit different from, like, this type of stuff that people do. Like, sometimes people do criminal shit, right? And it's just like, what the fuck? I didn't sign up for that. They try to make it oh, she's an eggshell, right? No. You're trying to, like, make me subject to, like, the games that, it's not even games, the way that you live your life or whatever. You may call it the way people live their life, but I'm not, like that. I'm not that. That's not me, right? And see what I'm talking about? That's not, like, that's not how I live my life, right? People think, oh, she's brown skinned or black or whatever, how people see me, I'm not really sure. But, like, you know, then she must be playing the same games everybody else is playing. No, I'm not playing the same games everybody else is playing. I'm just not. It's like, well, who am I to go love? What is color? Like, what is race? Blah, blah, blah. It's a whole lot of stuff, like, you know what I mean? And even black people are not a monolith. There are a lot of different types of things regarding black people. It's like, oh, yeah, we got this bitch on tape. We got her, like, shit, so we can know how to set it up. Anyway, but, like, so it's a risk for me to, like, talk, right, on camera and everything and load it up and all that stuff. It's a risk, right? But, like, I think the point is that people are like, internet's playing it low, or internet is, like, holding out or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, why haven't I given a performance in 10 plus years or whatever? I don't really know. A performance in that regard, like physical, like dance or things that I can do that I've done as a child, but I just didn't do. I have done, I can continue to do, I just haven't done. Like, you know, I haven't pursued as, like, an art. I mean, I have pursued art, but I haven't pursued professionally in certain regards, right? But I never stopped creating. I never stopped being an artist. I've been modeling. Like, you know, I've been writing books. I've been doing a whole lot of things. Like, what do people want to see from me, right? But people, you know, I've been doing a lot of things, right? And so people make different decisions, right? 40, you know, I'm not saying I'm 40. Good game, right? Like, but 40 is still young, 45 is still young, whatever, you know, 50 is still young, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. 54 is still young, 60 is still young, 63 is still young, you know, whatever. 120 is infinity is still young, add infinite. But, so, you know, sometimes, you know, it's like defeated, figure it out, cure, figure it out, defeated, cure. But, like, these like my little philosophies on life, you know, whatever, you know, I think they said, like, if you don't want, like, put it in a book, like, if you want to hide something for somebody, put it in a book, right? Because people don't read books and they think, like, when I started saying stuff, like, some things God gives me, some messages come from God, you know, some messages, like, you know, some things I read or whatever, but everything else from God. God created everybody. Like, I know there are people or whatever, but God creates. God is a creator. God is a great creator, right? God has done everything. And sometimes people try to take credit for things God has done. And there's a role for, like, free will. There's a role for like, you know, when you discipline and stuff like that. Like, this is all important in, like, the grand scheme of life, right? In the Garden of Eden, all that type of stuff. Like, you have the ability to make choices and decisions and everything. I get it. But, like, I guess the point is just that when you, the point is just that, like, God is a great creator. Like, and I think sometimes people think, like, what is false and humble, what is self-righteous, what is modest, all that type of stuff. Like, people make different decisions. I'm not saying you shouldn't take credit for your work, like, it's intellectual property and stuff like that. I get it. But, like, I'm just saying, like, people start, you know, like, it's like, I don't know, but people make different decisions. I'll leave it there. But, like, so if they're able to, Trey Songz, the horror people always playing on my background music, but I just like because you know he's so attractive and everything, you know, people are like, oh my god, you know, I can handle Trey Songz. So anyway, like, in terms of, and even with, let me take a brief sidebar. Like, when I was coming up, like, people enter the music industry young, and, like, I may have heard songs when I was young, and, like, maybe I, like, really liked the songs or whatever. I may or may not have known who the artists were and stuff like that. But, like, I may or may not have known who the artists were or whatever. But, like, or I may have known who the artists were, but like, I guess I didn't really like, as I got older and, like, I began to, like, pay more, like, I was listening to more secular music, like, consciously listening to secular music versus, like, just the music I listened to in the church, like gospel or whatever. I was like, oh my gosh, he sung this song. And I started putting things together. Oh my gosh, it was like my favorite song when I was a kid. I was like, oh, he's still making great music or whatever. So, you know, you get the idea. But a lot of times, you know, people are intimidated by people who are in the industry because it's like, well, it's like, when I say it's a horror story, it just means that, like, people see it's like it's a lot of work. And, you know, you hear, like, there are a lot of, like, in entertainment in Hollywood, even for me, you know, like, I had some nervousness around it, right? Because it's like, you know, you have to be able to have a certain amount of discipline or whatever based on what you understand about the industry, right? So, like for me, I was like, if I was young when, like I think I was approached early and young, and I was like, well, I want to, like, I know myself enough to know that there's some growing. I need to, some things I need to learn and growing I need to do. But not that other people teaching me and shit. Like, this is so fucking, now this shit starts, like, now it's starting to make my blood boil again, right? Especially, like, some of them. They think, like, oh, yeah, I'm your dad. Like, no, then you is not my dad. I don't believe in masculine men, nothing like that. But, like, people think they know better than you because, like, oh, I got kids. So, like, that's the most important thing you can do. So, I know more about life than you. It's like, no. Or, like, I figured it out young. So, like, because I figured it out young, I know more than you, blah, blah, blah. And you're just, like, innocent, gullible. Innocent is not wrong, but gullible. And, like, you're gullible and blah blah blah, like you're naive and all that type of stuff, right? So people are like, and people who don't know me, right, people who never talk to me, they may see me like, oh, she going to the doctor, so that bitch is stupid, or oh, her car's in disrepair, blah blah blah, she hasn't figured it out yet, or like blah blah blah, like here, oh, she been here, or she's been to this place or that place, blah 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 blah, she must not have figured it out, she working too hard, blah blah blah. I'm like, nigga, why the fuck you only got plants in your apartment and you worried about me? Where the fuck is your couch? Sorry, but anyway, sorry, I didn't mean that reference. I mean, it's like a personal reference. You may not, because I'm talking just like I'm recording, but like I'm just like recalling, because like some people kind of bother me sometimes, like whatever. I'm cool, calm, and collected, but like it just annoys me when people think that like they're like kind of I don't want to call it arrogant, or spelling themselves or whatever. Sometimes it's self-defense, I think, for them, because sometimes I think like it's so hard for them to believe, like they're like, well, I'm so smart, how did I get it wrong? Right? So like they act like, well, you say it all before, I don't know, whatever. But like the idea is like if you like have been growing up in life, sorry, I'm digressing a little bit, because I was talking about like it connects like to why people think like I'm living a certain type of life, I'm living in the industry and all that type of stuff, but like people think like they're gonna put me onto the game, or they think they teaching me something. Like I'm not arrogant, I'm not self-righteous, nothing like that. But I also don't treat a grown ass adult like they're a kid, right? You know what I mean? If you're a grown ass adult and you act like a kid, then maybe you don't need to be in my circle. But I don't try to force like if I'm smart and I know some shit. I'm not saying none of these motherfuckers are smart or blah. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like me personally. If someone says, "Oh no, Anthony, I'm good," it's like, okay, this bitch is good or this dude is good. So I'm like, mind my business, whatever. But some people don't get it. Like nosy motherfuckers. Oh my gosh, like what the fuck? It's like no means no. It's like me too. But that's not what I mean, right? I'm not saying no big deal, right? People make different decisions. I'm not like I don't even want to touch that whole thing about like those types of cases and whatever. I love men, right? You know what I mean? And each case is different. A lot of things are fact specific, but it's no big deal. Like, and sometimes people say things, you never know what's going on. Sometimes people say things for whatever reasons. You don't really know how people will respond or react. People respond to different things in different ways. No big deal. But it's just really annoying to me because okay, bitch, you 50. But it doesn't really that doesn't mean anything to me. I grew up I have respect for God, but the Bible also says be no respecter of persons, right? So what does that mean? But I'm appropriate, right? I'm appropriate. But when people think they know, when people think they know something about me, or they think, oh, Antoinette, what's angering me? Oh, I know what Antoinette's going to say, because bitches, I'm consistent. That's why you know what I'm going to say. These people think they're clairvoyant or something, or they think they know some shit. No, it's because I told these bitches, I told you, I do this, I do that, and it's oh, then they try to use your words against you, right? Because it's oh, well, Antoinette says she's like this, blah, 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 and okay, and then I can, I have the right to change my mind or whatever, or add complexity, and then when people can't figure it out, it's oh, she being a hypocrite, or oh, she lying, because they can't follow my shit, right? And then people gamble, right? Because people jump the gun and gamble and all that type of stuff, and it's just annoying, right? Because it's they think, I'm a grown ass woman, I don't know why some nigga think oh, I'm teaching us. No, you're not teaching me shit, people make different decisions, right? I'm not saying that I don't give people credit for what they do in their lives, right? They're not for they I do my own, I write my own shit, I do my own, I'm me, I'm my own, I'm an individual. I am that I don't want to say that I am, but I am, right? I exist, I'm a being, I'm whatever. But people, I don't know, people just don't get it. I don't know, they don't, it's not, when I say no means no, I don't mean I don't mean any type of really I'm just saying that very generically, right? I'm just saying respect when I say I'm good, You know, like Adam Sandler. I forget that movie with Adam Sandler, right? Whatever. But like, but you know, it's like, but if I say, like, I think he was, I don't think I'd ever seen. I just saw it recently, but like, he was in a movie with Don Cheadle, and like, you know, I guess people were trying to get his money and stuff or whatever, because like he came into money. I think his parents died when he was young or whatever. No big deal. And he had, I'm not calling it an eccentric life or whatever, but like he was living life, and people were like, oh, he's hurting and he needs this, and he needs that, blah blah blah. No. Like, mind your fucking business. You know what I mean? Like, you not help me do shit. Like, it's like these bitches, like, they be broke and shit trying to tell you how to live your fucking life. It's like, and bitches think they got an apartment and a kid. Like, oh yeah, like, I figured it out. No, you didn't figure it out. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. You know what I mean? But like, I'm just saying, like, this spiritual thing, you know what I mean? So, like, people make different decisions, right? And I think sometimes people just think that, like, they figured out life or whatever. Sometimes, and people think that you're the problem, but they're really projecting their issue onto you, right? So they're projecting their issue onto you. They're thinking, like, well, based on, like, how they think about life, they think that, like, I mean, I'm not saying it's not Freudian psychoanalytical babble or be a bullshit, whatever. Sometimes it applies, sometimes it doesn't, right? But it depends. And sometimes, like, you can choose to accept it or not to accept it, right? Some things in life are a function of your agreements. Some things in life are what they are. Some things are a function of your agreements, other people's agreements, and like what life is, right? And then people can't figure it out, but it's like, what's the union intersection of that? How does that fit together, right? Because it's like they see things, well, some people are linear minded, right? It's no wrong problem with that, whatever. But some people don't care, you know, they don't understand complexity or whatever, so they get stuck. And then when they get stuck, they're like, oh, the bitch must be lying. No, I'm not lying. Y'all bitches are just retarded. Sorry. But anyway, the reason I'm saying it's annoying to me is because, like, why should I, like, have to, like, I'm not saying suffer or whatever, but why do I have to, like, suffer because y'all don't get it? You know what I mean? Like, because you're confused. Like, if you, and first of all, if you're not listening into, like, trying to listen into what's going on in my life, then, like, you wouldn't even have a problem. Like, that's a decision you can make. You can choose to be an eavesdropper. You can choose to be nosy. You can choose to be, like, and then people are like, there's some scandal in my life, whatever, but like, you know, a stalker bitch. I've never been a stalker bitch. Like, I don't chase nobody, you know what I mean? I mean, I can fight for my man, so to speak, but like, I'm not a stalker bitch. People get me wrong all the time or whatever. But like, so people do some shit. Some people are motivated by anger. Some people are motivated by jealousy. Some people are motivated by money. Some people are motivated by, like, different things, right? But it's like, libertarian, like, what is it? Your finger ends where my nose begins, right? So you can do whatever. I touch my nose. Okay, whatever. But like, so like sometimes people think like, oh yeah, I'm so good that I can run my life and your life. Like, that's what it is with kids. No, you're not running kids. Kids are individuals, right? You know what I mean? Are you running your kids' life or your kids running your life? You know what I mean? So people are so fucking simple. Like, just because you're older and shit, it's like, and I've been a kid, so I get it, right? But like, you know, people think, well, like, yeah, I'm so good, I'm organized and shit, so I'm organized. So, like, I got your file over here. Well, you know, people have clients and stuff like that. You're organizing a microcosm of their life, right? It doesn't mean you can manage their whole life. It doesn't mean you know everything about a person. It just means that you're doing a tiny piece of life. And even though you're doing a tiny piece of their life, it doesn't mean that they're not doing it also, right? They, you know, a lot of times, if I'm paying you, bitch, you didn't do shit for me. I'm paying you. It's like, but you can pay in different ways, like work, you can pay money, or I don't know, bum bitches. But like, you get the idea. But some people think like, oh yeah, I'm really organized, I'm really smart, so I'm that much better. I can like organize your life and organize my life too. It's like I said, like, wow, you know, I said it again, but you know, slightly different way, right? So it's just a bit of an annoyance because, like, you know, bitch, you can't. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I figured out, like, I don't have to dance because, like, I figured it out in my head. I don't have to play basketball because I figured it out in my head. I don't have to do this, I don't have to do that because I figured it out in my head. Okay, good for you. People make different decisions. No big deal. You know what I mean? But, like, just because I figured it out in my head doesn't mean, like, I'm just hardware. Like, I mean, just because I figured it out in my head doesn't mean, like, you know, you get the idea, right? The idea is that if you figure it out in your head, your software, you figure it out, if you're doing it physically, your hardware, like, what's better? Because does a computer work without, like, I mean, you can have a computer, right? But you probably need, like, application software, whatever, Microsoft Word, blah, 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 you know, like, or the computer is not really doing anything. But conversely, if you have, like, Microsoft Word and shit, and you have no fucking computer, how does that work? You know what I mean? So it's like, was it more important to be smart, or is it more important to, like, have physical strength? Like, whatever. The smart, what is it? The strong defeat the weak, but the wise defeat the strong, right? But which way does that cut, right? And it's like, if I don't say the answer, people are like stuck. Oh, she doesn't know. It's like people want me to do all the thinking for them, like to figure all the shit out for them and watch, so they can use it against me, right? So they want to use it against me to make money off of me. It's like they want me to do all the thinking for them, figure it out, and then they say, oh, she wasn't really doing the thinking. I don't know, this is like crazy shit. I know, I get it, right? But like, this is like philosophy, right? Philosophy is crazy. Who was Plato? Who was Socrates, right? What is like the Greek mythology? What is the Odyssey? What is the Iliad? What is Shakespeare, right? What are these things? And when I started saying like references and stuff like that, people who don't get it, like sometimes they get it somewhere, like they get the idea, like they understand words or Latin or whatever, but they just haven't read the books, like Othello and you know whatever. It's you know, sorry, I'm kind of going from thing to thing, but like, I have so much in my head, whatever. But like, thank God for like editing. But like with Othello, you know, the idea was like you can make, you know, that Bully Lynch divide and conquer, right? But Othello, like, what was it? What was he able to do? Was black guy, Moor, whatever, married, whatever, a white paramour. I'm not really sure, whatever. You get the idea. But Iago was the character, and what did he do? In my story, so whatever. Iago, what did he do? So he planted a seed of insecurity, right, in Othello, right? He planted a seed and he said, well, the person you're dating or whatever, or whoever the person was or whatever, his love interest or his interest, like Iago made Othello think that she was unfaithful to him, right? And if she was unfaithful, then what happened? Like, it's kind of a divide and conquer attack. Now, what was the problem? Well, did the problem lie in Othello because he allowed that to happen? Did it allow? What was the flaw, right? What was the flaw? A function of all those things, right? So, you know, people try to judge you. So, to like. Other people are like, oh yeah, we're gonna play divide and conquer. Make you think blah, 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 all this type of stuff, like politics and all that type of stuff. No, I'm not really into that. Like, you know, I like live my life just calm and cool. But I read books, you know, so I get the idea, but I don't live like that. And then, you know, it's just very annoying because like, so anyway, let me just go back. So anyway, so it's just annoying because like people who like try to like adopt a kid, shit, it's just annoying as hell, right? Because like you know, reverse psychology and trying to egg you on or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, sometimes they do it, they just want to get you to talk. They just want to get you to talk, right? And you have to be strong, like, say, I'm not going to say anything, I'm just going to let it go, whatever. And then the bitches will be seething on the surface because you just, like, it's like, do you call the game on or do you just move on, right? Blah, blah. So you satisfy the craving or do you just move on, blah, blah. But, like, so I think it's a bit of annoyance because, like, I'll go back to the challenge position. So it's like they challenge you. And it's like, why the fuck I gotta reinvent the wheel over and over again? What the fuck is going on here? Like, somebody send a fucking memo around. So it's like, well, how am I uploading shit? Like, it's like, why are you working on it? Just upload it, like, moving over there. How many games do I play? How much do I know? So on and so forth. And, so I'm a bit annoyed right now because, like, cause some like I don't want to call it like spiritual warfare. Some people you call it energy stuff or whatever, but like they built in checks, right? So I think like, and there's a way it works, so on and so forth. But like, I think like the thing that was really annoying because like for me was just like when people would try to like tell me, like people start clicking locks and banging on doors and trying to use like different types of things to try to like what is it called, kind of I don't know. There's a word I want to use or whatever, but they try to do things to use sounds and use vibrations and things like that to try to I don't know, trying to come up on you, try to make a name for themselves, try to, like, the word is not really there. Sometimes there's a word you want to use to really satisfy the craving, sometimes it doesn't, whatever. But, like, and everything that's the right answer doesn't always satisfy the craving. It's, like, a very basic type of thing. Discipline is higher than that. But, like, so they think that they know certain things or whatever, and they want to try to use, like, manipulate certain types of things. If they believe in energy stuff, if they believe in, like, witchcraft, if they believe in black magic or any type of stuff, you know, black people don't really believe in that, but if they believe in different type of stuff, like, people do different things, or they have, like, their own type of OCD type of stuff that they do, and they just, like, it makes them feel good about themselves, even though it has no substantive value. Like, if I click this lock, then it means I want to make $1 million. I don't know if people think this stupid shit works. I don't know. But, like, you know, sometimes when I'm doing things, some other things are going on in the atmosphere and in the environment, all types of stuff. Like there are all types of signals being sent. Like the sender receiver communication model. Like there are all types of things that are always going on all the time. Because what is sound is a vibration. What is, your voice sends a vibration. Those types of things, right? When you pray, it's a spiritual thing, but it also sends a vibration. There's a whole lot of stuff that's going on. So some things are practical things, some things are spiritual things, some things are energetic things. There's a whole lot of stuff, right? So, but some people, depending on what you believe, some things are a function of what you believe. Some things are a function of like life, but some things are a combination of function of what you believe and a function of life. And sometimes you'll say something and people will think, oh yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, that shit sounds good. Yeah, that's out. It's like, no, bitches, you don't get it. Like, if you believe it, because they think that's their saving grace and that's their out. Because if I say some shit and it's like, oh, I'm a resident, like the Bible is like almost 1,000 pages, right? If I curse, I'm saying she's sacrilege, whatever. But the Bible is almost 1,000 pages. There are lots of religious texts, a lot of religious books, but people would just take one little thing, one little line. I'm not saying one little line can't be good, but like if it's like a theory of a whole, there's a whole lot of things, and like from like, we call it totality of circumstances. There's a whole lot of stuff going on, So if people say one line, it may get you so far, but like it's like it's just knowing more better. Like sometimes, like maybe you need to know more, maybe you don't need to know more, maybe you need enough and stop there. Don't be greedy or gluttonous or whatever. But excuse me, sometimes, generally speaking, with greater information, you can make better decisions. Generally speaking, right? There are exceptions to the rule, I get it, but generally speaking, right? Do you have to read a book to know it? Maybe, people learn in different ways, and so you have to read a book to know it. But like certain types of learning require different levels and types and extents of discipline. And discipline, good or bad. Some people don't think this is whatever. I think, I tend to believe there are some truths with a capital T, right? There are truths with a little t, but there are some truths with a capital T. But some people, when I say that, some people assume that a truth with a little t, because you believe it, is a truth with a capital T. But a truth with a little t, just because you believe in it, doesn't mean it's a truth with a capital T. And a truth with a capital T in my life is different from the truth in the capital T in your life. But there's a truth with a capital T that that's overarching everything, right? This is God, right? This is God. But sometimes people are so stuck in the way they see things. They're so myopic or narrow-minded or small-minded or whatever. I'm not saying it in a negative way, sorry. Sometimes, hamburger and fries is cool. Like, in some ways, it's a metaphor. I don't mean I'm actually only eat hamburgers and fries. It's just a metaphor for being simple, or like for being, not simple in a bad way, just classic or whatever. It's just kind of, if it ain't broke, why fix it? That type of thing. Like, some people just kind of, they live life, no big deal. But I think some people think that, like, I guess the thing about help, like, if I don't ask you for help, nigga, don't help. Bitch, don't help. Like, it's just that simple. It's like, well, it's hard to watch because, like, we see you going, like, we're going to have an intervention. Like, no, bitch, you want to have an intervention, you want to make money. Like, it's not like you really, like, are there any such thing as people with good hearts and people who do good things? Maybe, but like, if you have a good heart, respect my decision. Like, which way is, what's the balancing line there? Like, if I say no, bitch, it's like, you can't be inside my body and inside my mind and know how I feel and know what I feel. Like, because you see life a certain way and, like, you think that this is what brings happiness, you think this is what is good, blah, blah, blah. That's your perspective. And it's like, oh, if I don't see life the way that you see life, then I must be concealing, or I must not be aware of myself, or I must not be, I must not, whatever. I must be, a person must be stupid, or one must be whatever. No, bitch, you just don't get me. Everybody's different. Like, I get there, types of people and everything like that. But I am myself. I am an individual, and I'm comfortable with myself. I know who I am, and I'm honest, and blah, 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 blah. So people just like, people just like, I don't know, because people feel better about themselves if they can put you in a box, because it's like they feel chaotic if they can't understand you, right? So that's generally it. Like, this is kind of psychology. It's kind of like, I get the idea. Some people, but there's a truth with capital T. I'm not saying that, like, there are psychological concepts that are applicable. Sometimes people figure them out, sometimes people don't. But it's a general idea. Like I said, there are always exceptions and exemptions and all that type of stuff. It's like, how do you know when the exception applies? How do you know when the exemption applies? How do you know when the actual, like, something that are functioning of what you believe? Like, you can tell me some shit and I believe, oh, well, okay, yeah, that sounds good. But some shit you can tell me and I don't believe it. It's like, oh, no, I don't believe that shit. So, like, moving on. Like, don't try to force it. Like, you try to put a square peg in a round hole. Like, just let it go. So, but and then I know it's like the whole thing is like, well, some people choose to be homeless. That's okay. Let them live their lives the way they want to live it. Some people want to be crazy. It's like, why the fuck would a bitch want to be crazy? I don't know. but like some people want, when I say crazy, crazy, like, there's different types of crazy. So there are people who are like boy crazy. There are people who are like stalker crazy. There are people who are like, you know, it's like a whole lot of crazies, right? But like, and you know, if people are functional, like, what's the problem? You know what I mean? And I guess people will kind of challenge you. You know, you live and you learn. You know, some of your functional age, whatever, blah blah blah. And sometimes you just gotta show your strength because people will, like, if they think like you can be an adult, people will think you're retarded. People will think you're like it's like developmental disabilities. People will think like you're intelligent but not smart, or you're like, you know, you're intelligent, smart. What about common sense? Blah 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 blah. Like, you know, people make different decisions. Like, so, but like for me, I think that, you know, people will try to impugn your character if, like, I guess they feel like it's zero sum, right? They feel like, okay, if this bitch had all these problems, but people think she's better than, like, they think I'm better than, like, other people. It's like, I have all these problems. What does that mean for them? Like, that means, like, if it's a hierarchy, some people think it's a pyramid or a hierarchy or whatever. And so, like, they think it's zero sum. So they think, like, oh, if I'm number one, then, like, that means they have to be number two, right? It means that, like, that's how some people see it, zero sum. It's a competition. Like, everything, like, is life a big competition? In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. It just, you know, depends on the situation, circumstance, whatever. But some people will get caught up in competition, like, over and over again. They live every single life of, like, every single facet of your life is a competition. Every single part of your life is not necessary. It doesn't have to be lived the competition. It's not necessarily a competition, and probably shouldn't be a competition. Like, you need to rest, have peace of mind, those types of things, right? I'm competitive, I get it, but that's not how I live every, like, facet of my life. I don't go into a place like some people. As soon as you walk out the door, they're gonna, oh, bitch, yeah, this is crazy. But like for me, when I go out, my thing is now, like, you know, I go out, we have a good time, you know, whatever, moving and grooving. Hey, Mr. DJ, party, all night, all the, at least we can get, making parties till the weekend. But you know, I mean, like, sometimes it's just like you want to have fun, right? But I think sometimes people see everything when they go out, it's like, oh, you know, and like everything's like competition. And some people think like everything is just like war, love and war. Like, no, everything is not love and war. It's not Game of Thrones. I know it's called Game of Thrones. How ironic is that? But like, the word game is in it. But you know, what type of games? Like, chess is like a game, right? But you know, what is chess really about? So people. Anyway, so but and people sometimes think that like they have like master certain things because it's like, well, in order to like plan and organize and like set up whatever, like you have to have like, you have to know how moving parts work. You have to be able to like know people's behavior. You have to be able to anticipate how someone's going to move and blah 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 blah. I get the idea. People who write movie scripts and stuff, you know, but like, how well to understand people, I get it, but like, you know, people do it at different levels, no big deal, but like, you know, it's like, don't subject me to like the shit that you do, especially if I say no, right? And it's like, well, you know, this is the dividing line. Like, everybody has to be able to do, like, everyone has to know how to be, like, you know, the alphabet, but I'm sure like literate people, like functional literates, and like, they probably, I don't know if they know the alphabet or not, but like, they know how to, like, before there was a writing system, what was there, right? There was an oral tradition, right? So, you know, whatever. But like, so, but I think the problem is just that like people think they know better than you because they don't understand how you live in your life, and it really is. They'll try to conceal, right? They try to say, well, like, it's hard to watch, and like, you know, don't look, bitch. It's hard to watch. Don't fucking look. But like, so you know, it's like attractive nuisance. You know what I mean? Like, there's a playground right there, but you see the swing is fucking broke. I'm not saying, you know, it doesn't mean, but you see it's high. I won't say it's broke. You see the, you know, don't swing on the fucking swing. He's good. You won't get hurt. Don't swing on the fucking swing, right? And then people sign up, they lose their money, whatever. They lose whatever. They want to blame you, and they want to make you work and like say, I'm paying you an experience. Like, bitch, you owe me money. Why you give me a loan when you owe me money? Like, they try to make me they try to make me work for the money they already fucking owe me. And people already know what's going on, but like, bitch, if I see a new fucking, I'm out of here. Bitch, better have, I don't really know. I forget the words. It's like right back in my head. Gosh, I had to cut this part out, but you know, cut it out. Remember that? What was it? Full House. Cut it out. Oh God, how does it go? Back to my brand new. Bitch, but I'm not saying the money part, right? It's like not the single thing, right? But like, you know, you get the idea. Oh my gosh, I always think it's like, you know, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but like, think singing it without the song or whatever. I guess I can load it up or whatever. But like, Oh gosh, I don't know why it's escaping me. Oh, haze brain spray. Oh my God, hey, go tell their name. So, oh my gosh, alright, I'll do it. Like, hard way, easy way, whatever. I didn't want to do this. Because it's going to compromise the integrity of my recording. So I guess I'll come back to it. You get the point. Okay, so, but like, so, the song or whatever. But like, sure. Let's sing something like that. Cause I ain't call it hot, but this is not hot. Your wife in the backseat of my brand new foreign car. Cause you don't, I don't know. Anyway, you get the idea. So, like, you know, the more you get to the audio, you understand the word, the better you can sing the song and sound more like blah, blah, blah. That's not whatever. I'm not going to curb it. You get it, whatever. No, it's not excuse. I'm just saying. Okay, so, but, like, so I guess it's annoying, right? So, sorry, that was a long pause, sorry. But, like, it was like, and I want to get, it's like, if I let it go, work hard and do it, like, flexibility. But, the idea is just that, like, so the idea is just that, like, you know, sometimes people will try to, like, they think they know better, right? People who, like, maybe things that, like, in a conservative, like, paradigm, they consider, like, they may have considered whatever they did to have been mistakes, but they will be able to, like, recover, right? And their lives are okay now. So they're like, well, they figured out early, they made mistakes early in life, so they think that they're better now. And it's like, well, if they think they have, like, my house is bigger, or, you know, I have this, whatever, type of car or whatever, or, like they may think they're in better health, like I have this, or I look younger, or blah, 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 and they think, well, one for one, who's more credible, right? Because they'll say, well, I'm more credible because I'm more credible because I make this amount of money, I'm more credible because I have this type of job, or I'm more credible because, for whatever reason. So when I say these things, people think, oh yeah, that makes sense. Even though I'm saying it to acknowledge the story, but I'm not saying it because it's actually true. I'm just saying, like, these are the stories people tell. I'm conservative, right? I do have a way of thinking about life. I do believe that, like, certain things have simply been better than others, but something I just put a pin in, right? Some things I didn't really know. I mean, not that I didn't know, right? But I didn't, like, it's not what I know enough, right? It's not necessary for me to know everything. People think that, like, you know, I'm putting you on the game. Like, some things are just like, you know, because, like, I don't have to be, like, Bo knows, like, this, like, Bo played 3 sports, Bo Jackson, whatever, I think, what was it, Bo Jackson, I can't really recall, whatever, but, like, you know, you can play multiple sports, but, like, you can play multiple sports and, like, make $3 billion or whatever, or you can play one sport and make $3 billion, like, just because there's some other things there, or you can play 3 sports and one sport can be worth, you know, 2.9 repeating billion dollars, and the other thing is only worth, I don't know, like, whatever, 1 billion, or less than 1 billion, right? So, but, like, or whatever point, whatever, you get the idea, right? Whatever 3 billion minus 2.9 billion is, right? Whatever point, whatever. Okay, whatever. Okay, I have a calculator. You get the idea. So, but, and that's a lot of zeros. You know what I mean? But a lot of things I get that, you know, I can extrapolate. So, because 0.9 is a tenth away from 1.0, right? So, and 2.9 and 9 are repeating. So, what is it? Is it 0.00001 or 10 zeros and a 1 after the decimal point, 9 zeros and, 1 after the decimal point, tens place, hundreds place, thousands place, whatever. These are, like, because it's a TH at the end, if it's after the decimal point versus 100 or whatever. People make different decisions. I don't know. But, like, so the idea is just that, like, it's way worse bills and checks, whatever. I'm getting an accountant. And check the accountant. but I'm pretty sure I have that amount of money. I mean, not, in the spiritual realm somewhere. The idea is just that, so when, So people think that like because that's how they live their life. Like that's the thing is zero sum. Like this is how I'm living my life. They think if I'm living my life differently and I'm comfortable with my life and I'm calm, and cool with my life and I'm good with my life, that like it must be an indictment of how they live their life, and it's not. Like you live your life the way you want to live. Like I live my life the way I want to live my life. But like people think that because like I'm living my life a certain way and people like value the way I live my life, that I'm persuasive or I'm influential or whatever, so that it'll decrease the value of the way they chose to live their life. So they think it's like self-defensive. It's not self-defensive. That's just like some paranoid shit. Like just I don't know, people like I don't know why you make the decision, but I'm not saying they're retarded because of the bell curve of like IQ. Like I think somewhere between like 80 and 120 or whatever, 110 or whatever, 80 and 100 or whatever. Like that's like basic like 180 to 120 maybe. That's like basic, right? It's like basic IQ. Most people can do most things within that IQ range, right? When one falls below like 100, one's above, like 20 below, 20 above. And even people who have developmental disabilities and all that type of stuff, they're still cool too, right? You know, people make different decisions, no big deal, right? Just because people who may be nonverbal or may not be verbalizing things in certain ways, like the body is very complex, the mind is very complex. Like they add value to someone, and you know, it. Not just one person, like the family, like whatever. It's a lot of ways that things work, right? A lot of ways that things work. And they may be doing things spiritually, emotionally, mentally. There's a whole lot of stuff. And they have value to different people and different grounds, for different reasons, whatever. They make somebody a parent, right? You get the idea. Like at the most basic level, right? So, but and I'm minimizing it in any way. I'm just saying, like, you know, that's just like a practical example that people can understand. Right. So, but so I think that so I guess that's the whole point. Like people will try to make a case for themselves, they try to make a name for themselves, and like whether or not they have a good heart or a bad heart. Sometimes people, it's not about a good heart or a bad heart for most people. They're just human beings or whatever. But like most people are doing something. Some people may do things because like not, you know, maybe like just because they like for whatever reason. But a lot of people are not going to. I'm not gonna say everybody, but people do things but they want an immediate return on their investment. Like they want to work and get a paycheck. Like some people are not short-sighted, but some people you know, want things, you know, immediate or fast quick. They don't really have vision. Like they see things in the short term, but they don't really have long-term vision, and that's okay. You know, some people get all the money, spend it all, get it again, spend it all. Ooh, people make different decisions, no big deal. Some people budget, some people save, some people invest, some people spend. No big deal. Do what works for you. But like, I guess the problem is that when people try to tell you how to live your life, you know, it's like, and then like, because I'm not, you know, I mean, if I don't say anything, it doesn't mean I don't know. That's the whole thing. Like, it's like, well, you know, it's like, and people trying to announce yourself, like, break yourself, fool. You know what I mean? But like, if you like, it's not the divide. Like some people think it's a dividing line, like trouble is a dividing line between like adult and child. Like it's not. It's like they're different. Like adults make different types of decisions. Like what's the sticking point? Blah, blah, blah. Adults make different types of decisions. And so, like, there are different types of adults. Like, there are different ranges within the middle class. Some people are middle class by education. Some people are middle class by income. Some people are middle class by maybe experience. Like, some people are middle class. Like, middle class is very varied. Some people are lower class. Some people are working class. Some people are poor. You know, some people are poor righteous teachers. Some people are rich. Some people are wealthy. Some people, you know, it's like a whole lot of stuff. Rich is different from wealthy. You know, some people are new money. Some people are old money. Some people are new money. Some people are old money, right? It's a whole lot of stuff, right? Some people don't know their old money. Some people are Jews in Babylon. Some people, it's a whole lot of stuff. You know, Daniel, Meshach, what is it? Daniel, Meshach, and Abednego, right? I feel like, I don't know, whatever, you get the idea, right? So it wasn't, I don't know if it was Daniel, but Meshach, something, I don't even recall. Like, I don't know. It's stuff that I know my entire life sometimes, like, escapes me. It's like credibility of the witness. Like, she was in her hall, and she really doing, she competent with the goal, blah. Why would I be a witness? But, like, that's how I do. But like, or you know, just Babylon. You know, what is Babylon? Like some people are like Rastafari. Some people, it depends. Like I'm not Rastafari or anything like that, but like that's the idea. So it's like burn Babylon. I don't know. So I don't want to say something, and I'm not sacrilegious in any way. And I don't mean it in any wrong way. Like I'm not. I'm not an eggshell. People shouldn't be eggshells or whatever. But. What's going on here? Sorry. But I mean that's all. Like the music, I have the music in the background, whatever. But like, I just want to make sure. I just want people to know. No, don't want people to know. But like, I guess the idea was just that you know, it's like, you know, there's Hinduism, there's Buddhism, there's Confucianism isn't really a religion, it's more like a philosophy, but or Taoism, I'm not really sure. But there are a lot of religions right around the world. There's African spirituality, right there. Like some people are Ifa or like Yoruba. Like it's a whole lot of different religions. Like there are so many different religions. I don't know all of them. There's some people are New Age. There's a whole lot of people that believe in different things. Some of them don't believe in anything, but not believing in anything is kind of like believing something like a vote for nothing is a vote for something. You know what I mean? Whatever. Anyway, so I guess the idea is just that, like, I guess I can leave it there. I've said so much, but the idea, I think, that people try to act like they're really in your interest. They may not be bad or good, but like some people just play the game for the sake of the game, like don't hate the player, hate the game type of thing. So, but like it still doesn't mean everything is within the meaning of the law. It still rules to the game if it's player of the game. It's like, you know, is there honor among thieves or no honor among thieves? Like, 'cause they say it both ways, right? But like people make different decisions, so it's like respect my decisions to the U.S., United States, whatever, blah blah blah. So it's like, you know, people try to like, you know, and they built in trust. I keep saying that, right? So it's like when people get in the middle, like you have to respect the law. Like, does the law change? If it changes, in what ways does the logic change? If the law changes, does the logic change? The purpose change? The motivation change? The policy change? Right? You know, God's law. You know, how long is the Bible? Like, they do have different translations of the Bible and everything like that. But like, you know, what's really wrong? And it's like if it's everything and nothing. Like, it's not a state of anarchy. It's not a state of confusion or anything. Like, if you understand jazz and everything, or anarchy, confusion, or chaos, or whatever, God is a God of order. So I just think it's a problem because when I start saying things, people just take a soundbite of what I'm saying. When they think they have an out, they'll use it as an out, like that. And people will like mango interpretation and stuff like that. It just keeps going on and on and on. Oh no, I was just going like hell and stuff. And I said, I don't know what they do. Yeah, you may laugh because you did not do your math. Oh, the world keeps turning. Oh, what a day, what a day, what a day. Nothing, he knows nothing at all. Does it seem colder in your summertime and hotter in your fall? And hotter in your fall. No, hotter in your we are reading history, so cold as fire, and most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear it's just the same. Oh no, 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 I believe on like a rolling. Oh. Bad house to the guy jump on. So anyway, but like, you get that. Okay, but like, so the idea is just that, like, yeah, shout out to Goody Mom. I mean, that was everybody doing shout out to Goody Mom. But like, CeeLo, Big Boy, and Andre 3000. But I don't really recall. I didn't really know it was Goody Mom. I heard this song, but it's like after the fact, like, I became an adult. Oh, that was Goody Mom. I get it now. This is the gospel when I was a kid. But Outcast. It's him and I, Quim and I. Rolling down the street on foot, coming up, slamming Cadillac. Me and you, your mama and your cousins too. Rolling down the street on foot, coming up, slamming Cadillac. No. Okay, I guess I want to leave it there. There's so much more to it, but I guess if I stop right here, a lot of people, I guess they want me to finish, you know, but like church is like every Sunday. You know, church is every Sunday. It's like how much, you know, I guess it's a natural concluding point, but I'll just say a couple of things, right? So, could you come back? You know, something, but I pray that when, my dying day, if I ever die or whatever. But like that, is that like a curse? Like sometimes we talk about immortality. Is that a curse or a blessing? Is it reincarnation? I don't really know. Do you know what happens when you die? Does anybody know what happens when you die? I'm not really sure. Maybe the morgue or like the crypt. Is it crypt keeper? I don't know. But the person, like whatever. I'm the mortician. What the whatever people at the whatever who like dress the bodies and stuff. I don't really know. But like a person in my family told me this, right? Like, do you ever, he said, do you know what the he kept asking me, do you know what the curse of Ham is? I'm like, I'm not really sure. So you did it yourself, like certain things, you know, and I was like, what, why does he keep saying the same things over and over again? I didn't really understand, but like, it's like, I'll tell you when you get older. So I guess that's the whole point, right? So people would try to say, like the whole Adam Sandler movie or whatever. He was like, he wanted to live his life, right? So he lived his life or whatever, and you know, just let him be, move on. Like, you know, don't try to like some people take a heavy-handed approach, I think, because it makes them feel better about themselves. Mostly they're trying to do it for money or whatever, money, bragging rights, because bragging rights are still, I think, maybe count as money or whatever, endorsement, whatever. People do reputation, I'm not really sure, but they're building checks, right? But some things are about like entertainment and like, you know, stuff like that. But some things are about life, and some things are about religion, some things are about sex, and some things are about love, and some things are about like health, and something like everything is not about like all the same things, right? You know, fuck with you, like, you know, everybody thinks like, you know, people are motivated by different things. People are different, you know, they're different things. And like, even though I didn't have like a very like something I just kind of put a pin in that when I was younger, I just put a pin in it, right? Because I didn't say yes or no. Because sometimes you have passing thoughts and ideas, and I think sometimes people will try to like pin you down to something they think you said or something they think you believe, or even if you said it and they don't believe, they'll try to hold you to it. It's like people are worried about the splinter. I don't have a splinter in my eye or whatever. It's like, oh, I'm gonna hold her to that. But like, if a person may have a splinter in their eye, what a splinter is, but some people may have a splinter in their eye, but a person with a big ass board of wood would be worried about the splinter in the person's eye. It's like, which word is a splinter or whatever. But like, so it's like, you know, bitch, worry about the fucking board in your eye before you worried about like what's going on over here, right? And people then like, people be seething on the surface and unhappy on top of shit or whatever. And they just want to put their hand, like too many cooks in the kitchen, too many people like trying to like manipulate shit or whatever. It's like, no, you live and you learn with a rule and moving on. Right? It's like, oh, this happens to you then, you confident in, like, you're confident in you confident in how you know, like, it's different, right? It's a different type of confidence, different type of things, extensive, like, all this type of stuff, you know what I mean? This way it works, long description, silly hell, blah, blah, blah. But, like, and they think, like, sometimes people will try to use your response as an indication of whether or not something is true or right. Like, if the bitch is bad, then I must have won. Like, no, I can get mad about some shit. Don't mean you won, right? So, like, that's the whole idea. Because sometimes, you know, emotions are one type of indication, but it's not really, like, because you could win a game and be mad. It's like, actually, you won. Like, oh, I didn't win. No, I won. Okay. But, like, you know, so, you know, you, like, people may be responding different ways, right? Because it's like, oh, it's sometimes when the dust settles, whatever, but that's not even really cool, right? It's like, oh yeah, bitch, I can like do whatever I want to you, and when the dust settles, you'll feel better because you're like, I was really for your good. Like, no, this is ridiculous shit. But it's extensive, right? Some things are as a matter of law are just excessive, like as a matter of law. Some things are maybe like, how do you know what's in the main law? How do you know what's excessive or whatever? You live and you learn, it built-in checks, so on and so forth, blah blah blah. Like, you know what I mean? It's a whole lot of like, you know, and people have confidence, right? Because I don't think people are worried about the same shit. Like, you get older, a lot of people at a certain level not worried about that shit anymore, right? But they want you know, see response kind of thing, like just like, you know, kind of see like whatever. You protect yourself in different ways. Like, there are protections in police forces and like law enforcement, all type of stuff. Not everybody believes in police and law enforcement, blah blah. I get the idea, but like, you know, there are different types of checks. No people. And what if a person has no fear? How does that work? Well, that song was it Bone Crush? I don't know, but the idea, like, if you don't have like, how do you address a person who has no fear, right? Because the Bible even says, like, for the Lord's not giving me a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind, right? He hasn't given you a spirit of fear. Do people have a spirit of fear? What does that mean, right? And it's the thing, you fear shall come upon you. What does it mean to fear? What does it mean to come upon you? How do you play defense on that? All that type of stuff. But or how do you stop it, right? You stop it at a certain point. You live and you learn, right? And some things, like, each decade has, like, there's like a sine qua non or essence of like each decade, right? So at a certain point, you know, most people arrive at a certain point and it just kind of plateaus, not flat lines, but like, you know, certain, you know, you just kind of get to a point of stability at a certain point in your life. And it's like, well, you know, I play punch holes in it. Some people kind of go, maybe they like on a seesaw, whatever. How do you know who's on a seesaw? How do you know who's stable? Whatever. There's many differences. So yeah, so that's just a bit of an annoyance, right? I don't need help, I don't know what to say, but like, it's like, well, like, you need help, and you figured it out, and you were like close to, what was the last 20 years? What was the last, like, proud of yourself, bitch. Okay, so
Yeah, so I think that's it. It's a whole lot of things that go on, right? So some cases settle. They say most cases settle, some cases settle, but like everybody's not in your jurisdiction. Everybody doesn't have standing. So some people think they deserve to be heard and have due process, but they don't even have standing. So if you don't have standing, you don't have due process in this realm. There's no case, no controversy. You're not my jurisdiction, you're not on my level, so you don't deserve to talk. And if you talk, I don't have to listen to it, right? So how do you know who has standing, stuff like that? Like no jurisdiction, a motion to dismiss, a whole lot of stuff, right? So people think just because they say it, so everybody has an opinion, right? You know what I mean? That like everybody gets to hear your opinion. A whole lot of people saying some shit, but nobody even listen to it. So, but like, how do you know? It's like how do you decide who has an opinion and who doesn't, right? So, what's going on here? Nice. So yeah, so I mean, there is like something I want to say. Like, I want to bring that to a close. So I guess the last point is just that, like, if 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 I did, okay, so it's not bullshit. All my accomplishments, my degrees, the books that I've written, my dance, like don't sweat the technique, my dance, my ability to like sing, whatever, act, whatever, write poetry, think, my flexibility, my ability to play sports, like my great fashion sense, like my ability, all this, whatever, my ability to model, all these things, like and I being a model, jeans, whatever, artist, whatever, good with numbers, whatever, and all this type of stuff, right? Smart, beautiful, wealthy, and having strength, right? Spiritual, all this stuff, having a good heart, right? All this things, it's all true, and like it is all true. It's not BS, so they couldn't even say it was BS, whatever. I earned it the hard way or whatever, the right way. I don't want to say the hard was hard, but the right way, and they can't punch holes in that. And it's like, well, the money or whatever, I made different decisions. And it's like, it challenged me if I chose to like live the life I chose to live, and I'm wealthy and whatever in terms of the kingdom of God, whatever. And then they played a challenge. Well, whatever reason the challenge, like whether or not I really am like content, like no one died and made these bitches God anyway. We don't know the way it works, whatever. But like no big deal. But like so like, and some of them are just employees. Like they think they're doing some shit. Like bitch, they just employees. It's not like that. It's not personal. Like so, so. So some people take their job so serious and they think they're doing some shit, but they're not. Just taking instruction and moving on, blah, blah. But like, so in terms of in terms of, I'm gonna get out of here. In terms of okay, in terms of I'm just getting the shadow. It's getting kind of dark. So, but like in terms of the challenge, right? It needs to stop at some point. You don't have to challenge. Some people aren't experienced to a challenge at all. Whatever. So always we'll leave that there. But like even like at some point it's like, okay, boom, prove yourself, move and move on. Like you just maintain. It's not like you're proving yourself over and over again. You say it, maintain, whatever. And people are like, okay, whatever. So it's okay, but like the some people like looking for love, found fame. Some people want wealth, not fame. Some people want fame. Wealth will come. Sometimes people get fame with no money. It's like, who's subsidizing this shit? Like, they want you to be famous, they don't want to pay you. Like, what's going on with that? But like, okay, but it's a whole lot of stuff. But like, but like the challenge, right? So there's a challenge or whatever, and it's like some people will challenge you and say, oh, the person must, like, they'll challenge you on, like, I guess kind of your strength or whatever, your strength, your intellect or whatever, your talent or whatever, so your wealth or like who you really are, the authenticity of who you are basically. And so, they don't have a right to challenge. I'm not saying it's okay to challenge. I'm saying sometimes people do stupid shit because it's like they just stupid motherfuckers. It's like the gatekeepers and God loves you and everything, and I'm well loved by men, love you, whatever, well loved men. Why would I have to go through blah blah blah? Right. So, but let's just assuming the worst. Assuming arguendo. Arguendo is a Latin term. I believe it's Latin. Assuming arguendo means making the argument that you're based on the argument that these people are trying to make about that there's a challenge, right? Not that there has to be a challenge. Not saying that it has to be, but making it like ergo, not like. That's kind of like a logical if-then statement. Like if, then it's like ergo. If this is in place, then this will happen. It's like what follows ergo is like the conclusion of whatever the premise is, right? But like so I feel like I didn't read that anyway, but I get it because like context, please.
Message.
But like so, but what was that? The Wayans brother. I don't know. Drinking juice. I don't remember what drinking juice. I don't really remember which movie it was. But like that's the idea. He's a postman, I think. But like so, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Wait, Mr. Postman, look and see. Is there a letter in the mail for me? Deliver the letter, the sooner the better. It's a little bit high, but you know. Deliver the letter, the sooner the better. Whatever, you know, get the idea. I'm not from that era, but like, you know, you get the idea. But like, so, what was it, 70s, 60s? I don't really know. But like, okay, and so I guess the idea is just that like if it is a challenge or whatever, people try to like make up shit about and try to make you believe why they should be justified in challenging you. It's like, no, like they try to like make up shit. Well, like if they lose and try to hedge their bets on the type of shit. It's like, no, like they shouldn't set you up in the first place. They set you up and then they want to like try to, I know it sounds kind of paranoid, but it's like a very, you know, let's just say set you up in quotation marks. Who doesn't know what that means? But like, you know, whatever. And you know, they would say crabs in a bucket, haters, all that type of stuff. Who doesn't know? Art imitates life. Like, you know what I mean? So the movies are art, music is art, all this stuff. Art imitates life. So what is life? Life is how people are living, right? So whatever. But so I'm not saying that all people are subject to the same things. Everybody's not subject to the same things. Like there are different rules, different jurisdictions and stuff like that. And like there are built-in checks and there's a way it works and everything. Why do I keep saying the same thing over and over again, right? So, but like I think the idea is that if there should be a limit and extent to challenges if it happens. It doesn't have to happen in the first place. Assuming that it happens, there extent to what happens and how long it lasts and how often it can occur and whether it can occur after a certain point. Like they're all that. You live and you learn, right? You know, something are a function of age. And then the part of the problem is that motherfuckers will try to keep like saying shit and they try to call you hypocrite or a fraud or fake or whatever, all these types of things, right? Some of these people are just regular, it's regular people, right? Regular people, person, well, it's regular, right? And so I was like, why are you challenging me? Why are you challenging me? Right, so what's your intent? What's your motivation? Some people are doing it for money, okay? Some people do it for the sake of the game. Some people think it's their job. Like, it's my job. Like, I am a vigilante. And, like, I'm going to go out here and, like, police people. I don't know. You know, like, it's not like security guards, toy cops, something like that. That's not what I mean. But, like, people vigilantes, like, you know, people who, like, it's not citizens arrest or whatever. But that's the idea. And people think, like, government property and blah, blah, blah. No, this is ridiculous, right? Yeah, a person, we're alive, people are living, right? My spirit inhabits and animates my body. Animates is a very generic term. My spirit inhabits and enlivens my body, right? So, but so people try to make excuses when they do some shit and they get it wrong, right? They like gamble and get it wrong. They try to make excuses. Oh, the person is an eggshell, or oh, the person wasn't that smart, or the person, like that was running roughshod, or the person didn't manage appropriately, so people got stuck by their representations, and people say, I'll take that one, right? Or people like nobody told you to like follow this person. Like, do you think for yourself? You're a grown ass motherfucker. Like, why are you following other people in the first place, right? Why would I be the problem? So that's the idea, right? People will start making excuses. Oh, you're different because it's the Bible, like Sadducees and Pharisees and shit. Like, who appointed you to like say like who was a hypocrite and who was not? People make different decisions in their lives. If I want to fuck, if I want to drink, if I want to or have sex or whatever, or drink, or if I want with men or drink, or if I want to like smoke, or if I want to whatever, legal stuff, whatever, people make different decisions, whatever. Something is simply like unjust law is no law at all. So if people are doing certain things that whatever, a lot of people like use drugs and sometimes who's the law designed to protect, right? If I want to have sex, if I want to drink, if I want to smoke, if I want to listen to secular music, and if I want to curse, right? Let's just say you use those things, and if I want to, I don't know, something else, 5. Some people don't like the number 5, right? But like, and if I want to, there are only so many vices, right? It's like pick your poison, right? But like, if I want to dress in a certain way, right? If I want to dress scantily clad, I don't know. Let's just go with that, right? But like, it's not really a sin. Like, none of these are really sins, because like, what is the Bible? Like, the Bible, like basic instructions, but people who can't really, maybe kill. I don't know. If I want to kill, I don't even want to say that because I don't kill people. But like, some people do kill people, right? But it doesn't mean you know, in what way? People kill people with dance. People kill people with music. People, you know what I mean? Whatever. Well, you get the idea, right? But like, so, so I don't want to use the word kill. It's a strong word, but you get the idea, right? But sometimes self-defense, right? If I want to kill something, like, do you have a duty, like, to a duty to retreat? No. Some people can stand your ground and you can kill. Somebody tries to come into your house, you have a right. I think in most jurisdictions, like, to use a gun to shoot them, right? If the person tries to come into your house, like, you can shoot them, whatever, because to protect your, like, your home. Like, you can't, I mean, not to protect property generally, I don't think. I'm not telling people the law, whatever. This is what I'm, like, reading the book, look it up on the internet, I don't know, check your mail, check my, you know, check whatever. If you don't know, look it up, read it. But, like, based on, like, for my own personal purposes, what I'm saying is just like it's kind of, it's not an exposition or whatever. This is like my own little speaking, whatever. But like in terms of like self-defense, like someone is trying to physically assault me and assault my body, or whatever, assault me, like, I can, in self-defense, is it called killing? Is it called murder or whatever? But someone tries to, like, attack me, like, I don't have a gun, and I don't have a physical gun or anything, but, like, if I did, like, I would be within my rights, the Second Amendment, right, the right to bear arms. If someone tried to shoot me, I would have the right to shoot them in self-defense, right? But I'm not encouraging people to shoot people, right? And, say no to violence. I mean, say no to drugs, say no to violence. But even with drugs, some people are users, some people are recreational users, some people are social users of drugs and alcohol. And some people, what's the difference between abuse and addiction, right? There's a whole lot of, like, people make different decisions. What's going on, different rules, different laws. Like, like, some people may not know. The Bible's like basic instructions, right? But sometimes there's a law. There are exceptions and exemptions. Maybe you know them, maybe you don't know them. If you don't know them, maybe there's a reason you know. You can say laws, no excuse, but like the idea, what does that mean? What is ignorance and what is the law? What is excuse? Like, what all these things. But the idea is just that, like, sometimes people, how long is this? Oh my God, I've been talking for an hour and 25 minutes. Okay, but like, so, and some seconds, but like 24 minutes, an hour, 24 minutes, some seconds. But like, if the, and I'm a straight woman, right? So people would try to say different things, but like, I understand people make different decisions about, like, how they want to live their lives. I choose today, man. Is it like, if people born that way? Is it a choice? Traditionally, what I understood was that people had had traumatic experiences in early life. But I'm not really sure if everybody had traumatic experiences in life. Like, they may have been sexually assaulted as children or whatever. I'm not really sure this is a story, but I don't know if this is what those type of people in those communities, but they're saying in their communities, right? I think because they're saying, well, if they have, like, if people think that they only made those decisions from, like, a place of pain or trauma, as opposed to a place from, like, just making a decision or, like, being born that way. I don't know, but, like, that's, like, my traditional understanding from church and things I understood was just that, people who've had like early kind of experiences that maybe were traumatic, or they didn't understand, or they maybe, I don't want to call it perversion in an objective sense, but their interpretation of what was going on may have been it may have been perversion. I'm toning it down a little bit because I don't want to be insensitive. But like, I know people make different decisions, no big deal. Some people are may choose it. I don't know, maybe they mad at men, mad at God. I don't know. It's a whole lot of reasons why people can do those types of things. That's not a decision I chose to make. It's like people think, well, if I say that, then it's like if I say it, even though I'm saying it's okay if people make a decision, they think that, like, I am, or like people make this, like, and I think men have sex with men, all this type of stuff. Those are like different types of things. But like, if I say it, like, oh, Antoinette said blah blah blah, and they interpret a certain way, and so they think, like, in some way, again, it's zero sum. Like, if I say it, and they think, well, like, oh, if Antoinette doesn't believe blah blah blah, and then they start trying to rule. But like, but everybody who's had those experiences don't make those decisions. So people may have made those decisions early in life, but they don't live that type of life, right? I don't call it experience, but things may have happened to them in their youth or whatever, but they don't choose to live in a homosexual lifestyle, whatever, any sort of lifestyles, right? They choose to be straight, or they are straight, whatever, right? So sometimes things happen to you for which you didn't ask, or whatever, that weren't
contemplate, it wasn't the person's fault, right? But like, see how they respond, right? Whatever, moving on. And I don't use the word respond, react, whatever, respond, how they handle the situation, right? But it doesn't mean it's okay to keep setting a person up. Or it doesn't mean it's okay to like subject the person to trauma throughout their life just to see how they're gonna like react or respond, or to see how they handle it. Like, no, that's some ridiculous shit. Like, it's like, oh, this is not like the fishbowl experiment. People are not like aliens or somewhere like, oh, let's manipulate the people on Earth. Like, no, this is crazy. So the idea is just that what was I saying? Like, it's a challenge, right? And knowing the law, you have to know the law. Like, some things, like, it's like pick your poison or whatever. Maybe some people will pick your poison and they're like, well, if you don't do anything, all of a sudden, like, you'll binge or, like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, like, so, like you abstain from sugar for, like, 2 weeks or whatever. You just want to, like, just have all the, sugar or whatever. Sometimes, whatever, I don't know. Discipline, what is discipline, right? Discipline. But, like, so, I think the what I say about that is just that, I guess part of it's like sending them around, but it's like, oh, and they try to blame you. Well, you didn't send them around. No, bitches, y'all do. I've been performing my entire life. Like, many of performances, dance. Like, a lot of people know. It's like, well, who did the people know who needed to know? And the people who knew, and the gatekeepers, and God loves you, never stuff, and they're way to know, but oh, yes, blah, blah, blah. And I guess they're assuming, like, if I say, like, things that happen weren't so bad, like, oh, we can do it again, blah, 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 no. Or if I say things that weren't so bad, like, why are you complaining, blah, blah, what's the excuse? But if things did, if they were that bad, it's like, then why was, then if God loves you, then why would you let those things happen, blah, blah, you was in a functional age, blah, blah. It's like, oh, because you were, like, an eggshell, or you weren't logical enough, you weren't smart enough, blah, blah, to figure out, people, whatever, okay, it's like, to yourself. But, Rome wasn't building day, I don't want to say all the answers at the same time, right? But, like, I know enough, and, like, whatever. And so, and some people like say, well, if I was in the Garden of Eden, they say, yeah, they would have they prefer to like, they want to know. People want to know, like life and death, they want to know everything. Some people don't. People think I'm strong because I know everything and I can still handle life. Versus people, they think church is a crutch or whatever. People who don't know or emotionally whatever, or they have to go to church or whatever. So, no, people make different decisions, whatever. But, Well, yeah, the point is just that, like, I think people try to make excuses, right? They try to say, well, the person is a hypocrite. That's why I was saying, like, if you're a Christian, why do you have these vices? Or why are you making, like, practicing these things? Like, there's a whole bunch of people that are Christian that are doing this shit, but you want to worry about me? Like, there's a whole bunch of Christians that drink. There's a whole bunch of Christians that have sex. There's a whole bunch of Christians that curse. There's a whole bunch of Christians. Like, you know what I mean? What's the big deal? And the whole thing about the Bible and stuff like that, like, the law is like we've come to be, like, Jesus says free from the law and we've been redeemed from the curse and stuff. So what does it mean? Like, the law is like, it's not like it's a guideline, it's a rule book or whatever, but the more you know, like, you exercise discretion. Most people, when you're learning something, and some people saying who exercised it early or whatever, they're like, I need to get out of here. But people exercise, like, who figured it out early, they said they figured out I've been doing this for a long time. Yeah, they probably get to they got to 4th grade, and like, or whatever, graduated from high school. Like, yeah, you can maintain from high school, cool, no big deal. But like, people make different decisions. Doesn't mean you know more than I know. You may know certain things that I don't know. I know certain things you don't know. I compensate with emotional strength and physical discipline, no big deal. Like, nobody knows the difference, whatever. Why would I be tragic? So, but like, the idea is that, like, but what has more potential, right? So, whatever you did, whatever, what has more potential. And people make different stuff. People in it, like, people, like, something is a function of the person, something is a function of, like, what they learned prior to, like, those kind of dividing lines, each, like, kind of 10-year lifetime, right? But some things are, like, it's a whole lot of different factors. So people, like, using one thing and try to act like it's dispositive of, like, everything. But, like, people think, well, I'm smart because I figured it out young and I made my mistakes early, and so I just been living my life, whatever. I've been living a good life since that point. People make different decisions. Moving on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, some people are born earlier. I mean, some people, like, if a person is, okay, you sleep there. But, like, doesn't mean, like, some people are child stars. Like, this person's in the industry. Like, I've been, like, people like Usher and these people have been in the industry for, like, 7, whatever. They still, sometimes, like, I know, like, which way is that cut? But, like, it doesn't mean that because you're older, they said, okay, do you figure it out young or early or whatever? What's the difference? But, like, when they figure it out at certain points or whatever, as long as you're living your opportunity to figure it out, so to speak. So there are benefits to, like, figuring it out early. There are benefits to figuring it out early. Like, it's kind of hard to explain. I don't have to, like, say all the answers and know all, or, like, express everything I know. It's a lot in life, right? And I guess people want me to, like, kind of explain everything,
But I know there's like, you graduate from 6th grade, there's a certain like thing you gotta do in 6th grade. You graduate from 12th grade, certain thing, 12th grade, like everybody has a certain like basic level of knowledge. But depending on the type of life you choose to live, like there's certain types of things you live. Do all black people know the same thing? Do all white people know the same thing? Do all Hispanic people know, or Latin people know the same thing? Do all Asian people know the same thing? Do all people, Egyptians or people from the continent, Africa know the same thing? Whatever. But like, or the islands or whatever. But like, the idea is just that basically, bitch, your life is not better than mine. How about that? I don't remember. Like, if you had a kid early in life and got married and like whatever later in life, that's cool, right? Cool, good for you. You can do it. But like, the idea is just that like, because I chose to live my life my way. Maybe it's hard to believe that my life may be hard to believe that people may make decisions to live a certain way or be content in the way I have decided to exist. But like, the point is, I'm not telling you how to live your life. Don't try to tell me how to live my life. You know what I mean? So and like, people try to say, well, it's like, again, it was hard to watch. Don't fucking look, right? Blah blah blah. And like, don't try to like say, oh, you're concealing. No, the only reason people really care is because they want the money, right? Or they want the money or whatever, bragging rights. It makes the old people it makes them feel good. Like, competent motherfuckers, right? They want to treat people like kids, adults like kids, because they can't do shit. Like, all they know how to do is maybe like, I don't know, like they don't have any other skills. I mean, I know I'm not saying anything about being a mother or whatever, blah blah blah. It's no big deal. I'm not devaluing that or whatever, because I get it. But like, in terms of and it's like, play your part, know your role, blah blah blah. But like, the idea is that like, well, I'm not your kid. In-laws are different, whatever, you get the idea. Like, in-law, that's a critical difference. And just because a person is born doesn't mean that they're the child. Like, you can be born and not be the child, right? So in which way is that cut? I know it's a fraternity. I don't want to turn up things upside down and topsy-turvy and everything, but like, but the idea is that like, sometimes like, the person who's running things is not the person who you think is running things, right? So sometimes like, a person can have the title, but they're not the most influential. So it's a whole lot of different things, right? Being born first counts for, sometimes it may count for something, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's a presumption, an inference, a burden, whatever. Sometimes people fall down the job, sometimes people start from the job, sometimes people, if they have been put in that position, like Saul replaced David replaced Saul, right? And so sometimes people, everyone in and out and all that, but like, you get the idea. So that's the idea, right? What do people find credible, depending on the jurisdiction, right? Some people find different things credible. So some people think that like it depends. Like, a man may only value certain things in a woman. A woman may only value certain things in a man, or a female may only value certain things in a man, and a man may only value certain things in a female. It just depends, right? Like, there are some, like, it's like, oh, well, Anthony's switching up, she's conservative, this is what she believes about life, or about, I get it. Like, there are certain things I believe, but like, you live and you learn, whatever. Some people try to turn a positive into a negative. I'm like, what the fuck? And some people try to turn a negative into a positive. I'm like, what the fuck? But like for me, so I think that's the idea, right? People think that, oh, I have like a mainstream life, so my life is better than yours, so I'm more credible than you are, and because I've been doing this longer, I'm more influential than you are. So even though I may have natural talent, or I may be like whatever, naturally, whatever, beautiful, whatever, blah, 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 like, because I've been doing it longer, I just know better or know more. Like, when you're in a job and you have seniority, I've been doing a job for 20 fucking years. Okay, good, great. You die and you get a fucking pension, or whatever, 40 years, 50 years, whatever, retire. I don't know, you get the idea. But like, like, what is freedom? What is liberty? What is like privacy? What is like, there's some things that are important to people, and like, there are people who never live a middle class life. There's people who like have a trust fund, never work a fucking job. You know what I mean? Like, it's that they know. So which way is that cut? Like, do you only get bragging rights from, or street cred or reputation from, like, whatever, working like a 9 to 5? Like, some people, it doesn't even, they don't, like, getting up early isn't even a big deal, right? It's like, oh, it's more discipline to get up and go 9 to 5. Like, why, bitch, you going to like something in there for like 8 hours? Like, no, why does that make you more disciplined than me? Oh, I've been doing it for 40 years. So, well, which way is that cut? Because you've been doing it for 40 years out there, bro. Blah, blah. But like, the idea is just that, like, so the idea is, the idea is that like people make their decision. You know, teachers like they have 3-4 months off of school. Like some people do contract work their entire life. Some people have businesses their entire lives, and some people are night owls. Some people don't even do the getting up early things. Some people do the getting up late. Some people do all their work like in like it's all really in like a short period of time. They work really hard, a short period of time, make the money, and then spend it the rest of the time. Some people like slowly over a period of time make the money, and like people like trying to hold me to like a very conservative, like very narrow way of like understanding life. They're like, well, what was the narrative in the 80s? What was the narrative in the 90s? If you're a Christian in the 80s, if you're a Christian in the 90s, then you should think about life in this particular way, right? And like people try to hold you to it as if like everything you're gonna learn about life, you learn like it like from 1st to 6th grade, right? I mean, the first years of our development, they are critical. Don't get me wrong, but every point in life is important. Maybe critical is too strong a word, but it's important, right? Critical, right? I mean, development stages or whatever, so on and so forth. But like, you know, who are we? We are all spirits, right? We're spirits. So I may have an old spirit. Like, I could be born like, but my spirit may be old, right? An old soul, right? Right. So I'm not changing it up, not mixing, you know, not trying to like change it up for like some things like my philosophy of life. Like there are things I think in the practical sense, like yeah, car, house, job, blah, blah, we get it. Like, you know what I mean? But like I get it, whatever. But like in terms of like what my philosophy of life is, what my spiritual beliefs are, or my you know, my emotional understandings of life, yes, those things create greater nuance. So even though you may see on paper, like a person's resume on paper, it, you know, it can be impressive or not be impressive, could be something, right? But if you meet the person, it may be totally different, right? So people try to hold me to like the very practical, like nuts and bolts, but there's nuances and dynamics and all types of stuff that like that people are like missing. Like they're missing the forest for the trees, right? Or whatever, missing the trees or whatever, missing the forest for the trees, right? So they focus on like this, and this, but this is a whole other like a lot of things going on. They don't like they're looking at like they don't know how to. They're not looking at the like, because in law there's procedure and substance, right? So the procedure can sometimes change the outcome of a case, even though the substance is what it is. Like people like shouldn't really know. Blah, blah. I'm saying it in a very narrow way because like you want me to like teach people want me to like teach the whole law. Like obviously you have to have a license to teach the law, whatever. Teach the whole law. I mean, in order to practice, yes. But then people want me to like teach everything I know in like a very short period of time. Like I'm not a creative glutton. It's like, well, you're undisciplined because you can't stop talking about it, or creative glutton because you can't stop like indulging. It's cathartic. It's not really indulging myself or blah on what I'm saying, blah blah. People talk, but that's the idea, right? So if there's a challenge, there's extent to the challenge. You know, it's funneled through like the things that I say are funneled through like my philosophy of life and things like that. And my philosophy, I'm tweaking it every day, right? I'm tweaking it all the time, and it's not like it's not mangled or perverse or whatever or so far fetched or whatever. It's still within. It may be more complex, more nuanced, but it's within the realm of like my understandings or whatever. Nice. Okay, so I guess I'll leave it there. And I guess I'll just sum it up really quickly and say, you can't like I trust. So when people try to play divide and conquer, I'm like no. And like my fam is my fam, my men are my men, whatever. You know. When I say my men, I don't mean like all the so and so. But like, I don't mean it like in a possessive type of way. I just mean in terms of like what does it mean to be loyal? What does it mean to be faithful? Right? What does it mean to have trust? What does it mean to believe in God? Right? Like it's a little bit different. Like female friends are different. Like you know, people have different like I don't know what is a friend, right? So. Like I'm fair. I play road sports, whatever. I am like literally I play basketball. Like I always said, it's track, basketball, all that stuff. Basketball, track, soccer. I don't know if track is more of an individual sport, but kind of you can like have a relay race or whatever, stick, whatever. But like you know, but like soccer or whatever. I played co-ed sports when I was a kid, but when you get to a certain age, after you hit puberty, they kind of second you off into like sports sports consistent with like your gender and then or your sex, whatever. I don't know, your gender, whatever. And then like you can play co-ed sports again later, but like in the institutional environment, like educate like organized sports and school and stuff, you play like it's specific to gender, whatever. I think there's a difference between gender and sex, but I don't really know the difference. They use them interchangeably. But the word sex is kind of like loaded because people usually refer to sex when talking about interaction between men and women. Gender seems a little bit less loaded, or doesn't imply an act. And gender implies like a status, but gender has also been co-opted, right? So when you start using the word gender, I think it's kind of loaded to in the sense that you use gender. Sex is the old word for it, but when you use the word gender, they tie it to like the LGBTQ community, and so like it's kind of weird. You can't even say anything, but without like people like making inferences. So when I say I play girls' sports, I just mean like I know how to get along with people, right? Some people like oh, get my nails done, girls' sports, get my hair done, girls' sports, blah blah blah, you know, whatever. But I mean like. I probably do. 2000. But like, you know, so because some people are like, why does she have any friends? Like, I don't know what you really mean. Like, I've always been like good, you know, girl groups. I don't know, whatever. I think, I don't know. Rain down on me, let your love is strong. Like, rain down, rain. Sometimes as long as I get that here. But whatever. Okay. There were a lot of girl groups when I was growing up. SWV, Escape, Total, 702 a little bit later in my life. Destiny Child a little bit later, like the 2000s, maybe a little bit more 2000. I remember when I was in college, but whatever. And then some other groups involved, right? I say TLC. Anyway, but that it is so good. But like you don't have to be in. It's not always competition. Sometimes wingman. It's a whole lot of different things, right? So it's a lot of different things. Just agreement. It's really not personal, but it's just it's just what it is, right? Because I'm an emotionally healthy woman, right? So, I can handle people. But anyway, so, not handle, but like, whatever. So I need to get out of here. It's late. Everything will be over. Sorry. Let's do this. Okay. I'll leave it at this. I guess you get the idea. The idea is that like I'm content with my life, and people can't tell me how to live my lives. My life, sorry, my lives. How many lives do I have, Catwoman? But my life. But like in terms of the superhero Catwoman, not Catwoman like an old aunt that has like a lot of cats and no kids. That's not what I mean. But like and then people who try to like be nosy and involved in your life. Really, I'm not gonna say they don't have good or bad intent, but it's like respect my decisions. And like if I'm handling my life and like the only problem is that you are uncomfortable with it, like that's not a basis for any type of action. You being uncomfortable is like a personal. The person who's trying to like whatever, that's their personal problem, right? It's not my problem. That's their personal problem. So it's like, work on yourself, and then but don't worry about me. Don't worry about what I need to do or where I need to be. Blah blah blah. Blah. Like. I take care of myself. I can take care of myself, and I do take care of myself. Blah, blah, blah. It's like no, just sticking point. And people mostly do it for money, right? It's like I read this court case. It like took this older guy to probate court. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is going on here? They want his money. It's like nothing wrong with me. They want his money. So the probate court to get his money. This is just crazy. And so a lot of people. I mean, they say there's more poor people in the world, right? There's a lot of poor people in the world, right? It's not self-defense. If you're poor, send somebody up. It's not self-defense. It's like, get a fucking skill. Be a carpenter, an electrician. It's a whole lot of shit you can do. Go to school. Like, it's a whole lot of shit people can do. Like, setting up games. Like, no. That's like basically, men and females are different. So, men set up games. Females set up, like, the women who are some totally different shit, right? But, like, So yeah, so I think that's it, right? And like when people fail to manage themselves, fail to regulate themselves, right? So then that's when the shit gets murky and like I mean, it possibly like even in the United States, right? In the United States, like they're like it's weird, it's civil, right? Or the U.S. is civil, right? America, whatever the fuck, is civil, right? But like the West is civil, right? But from Europe, nigga. It's like it's civil, but like in terms of in terms of like do people do shit they're not supposed to do? Yeah. So like you gotta call the game on, boom, move on. People get mad, move on from it. Like, oh, you called the game, and people get mad. They want to like, oh, blah, blah, blah. No, you just mad at the game got called. You know, they're just mad at the game got called or whatever. So like, so that's a problem, right? Then they get mad or whatever. They know you shouldn't be doing shit in the first place because but and they're like, oh, you know, never get the reason you should. They don't think they're ever gonna get caught, right? And then when they get caught, they get mad, blah blah blah. Some people like they want to call people who have like diagnosed and shit crazy. Like it's like no, these motherfuckers are really not crazy, like not smart crazy, but it's like doing the same thing over and over again, expect to get different results. Like that's like crazy. And so like it's like a lot of different types of crazy. Some crazies are good crazy, some crazies are bad crazies, right? So like what does it mean to be certified? Some people are responsible and they're like what is mental health is different from crazy, is different from like it's a whole lot of different ways to describe it. But people try to get you on the hook, it's like, oh, because like if you're like giving a drawback like Achilles heel or whatever, or cut Samson's hair or whatever. It's like, okay, get that in. So like basically, like the reason I even started talking about this is because like sometimes like this dude was like, people think like, oh, I have a degree in this shit, so I'm now don't get me wrong, I have degrees, I have 8 degrees, but I'm really like I like valuable, right? I'm not gonna say education not valuable. I earned it the hard way. People have you earn it, have you get a degree, whatever, cool, you know what I mean? But I respect, the way I've done it, like the way I've done it, right? I respect the way I've done it. But people think like they know better because they're like they look at you and they say, "Oh, her life must be hard because she's driving this type of car, or how much money I make, or the way I speak, or if like they think that they are interpreting my emotions a certain way, or whatever they think my emotional whatever they think is an emotion, they think they're interpreting, they think they're reading me, they think they know me. So they know themselves, they know what they think they know about life, they think they know me, and they think they know how a person should respond to life based on those circumstances. Like, oh, how can a person be happy if they're poor? Basically, I'm not poor, but that's the idea. How can a person be happy if they, if they like had a goal and they think the person maybe achieved that goal or did not achieve it, or whether they achieved that goal, they think a person will feel a certain way. But what they do, they funnel into their own personal experiences. Yes, there are some things that are common mores and understandings about life and everything like that. But like, genuinely intelligent, smart, whatever, blah, blah. So because I'm genuinely intelligent and smart, they think, oh, I'm compensating through my intelligence, or I'm kind of like, oh, she has to heal emotionally or her heart, blah, blah, blah. People make different decisions, you know what I mean? And like, is it best to live life happy? Is it best to live life joyfully? Is it best to live life content? Is it best to live life satisfied? Because, a lot of times you start rejoicing and shit. Hey. I mean, it's no problem. Like, it's appropriate time and place for that. But like, sometimes people get distracted. Some people like get blindsided. Like when you're driving your car, like that right side of the blind spot. Like, you know what I mean? So what's the best way like to live your life? It may be a time to like be really, really ecstatic, and there may be a time to be really, really enthusiastic, and sometimes there's a time to be calm and cool and collected. Like, there's a time and a place for everything. But it's just ridiculous to me. A smart person may be a threat to real people, I don't know, whatever. They think a person is a threat, whatever. But like, or whatever, blah, 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 smart women, I don't know. But like, the idea is just that like, people think they know. And like, I'm genuinely confident. I don't really go around thinking like I know or presume to know other people's lives. So if it bothers you, it must be like your own issue. No, it's not my issue. I think every time like it is, that's kind of like psychology stuff, right? I'm not gonna say there is an extent to psychology. Sometimes it applies, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not saying there's no truth to it or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. But people don't really know how to apply it, and they don't really know how to exercise their discretion appropriately. Not just in the substance of psychology, but also in the practice, right? The substance of it, like how they understand the terms, the ideas, the concepts, and then also how well they understand the person, they may be trying to apply those terms and to whom they may be trying to apply those terms and concepts and ideas. And then what tools are they using to try to apply those terms, concepts, and ideas? Tools meaning like part of the tools is like how they've made sense of their own personal lives. Part of those tools are like how they interpret life and then apply that interpretation to the other person. So interpretive tool, maybe a application tool. I'm kind of making it up a little bit, but not making it up out of nowhere. Based on my previous knowledge, I haven't written this down anywhere. It's all applicable. It's all true. And it's logical. I'm just saying, like, the way I'm saying it is just people are, because I think quick. So if you have a certain knowledge part, like people choreograph, like I can choreograph certain things. I have a repository of knowledge from having danced, from my talent, from what God gave me, my talent, my skill, and from having created my entire life. But like application, interpretive tools, application tools. Yeah, all you need is one really, but like, but like, I don't know, I don't want to use creative tools, whatever. If it's an art, practice the art, those types of ideas. So, and sometimes, and depending on whether you're talented at it, whether you're skilled at it, and those types of things, they all determine like how effective you may or may not be. And then ultimately, the person I know myself better than anyone else. Like that person, typically, there are people who are they conscious of whether they know themselves and those type of things, and those, I get the idea. But like, it doesn't mean they don't know themselves, right? And is that even necessary? It's not even dispositive, right? What the fuck does that even mean? Like, oh, how do you know yourself? Blah, blah. Like, people like, and sometimes people don't even know shit. Like, people didn't read the books enough, and they just, based on what you said, it's like, oh, I've been living life long enough, I can kind of make it up, figure it out. And then because they made some shit up, and you made some shit up, something, they think, like, well, I'm telling a better story. Well, no, everything is not a function of a better story. Like, that's something of truth with a capital T. And it builds and checks and everything, like, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, bitch, I said, I'm telling you, mind your fucking business. Mind your fucking business. You know what I mean? So whatever. But like, it's like, especially, I guess the point is that like I'm like how I live my life, it has no effect on anybody else, right? That's the biggest point, right? The only way people know is they being nosy and shit. Like if it's hard to watch, don't watch, and like and if you if it's hard to watch, don't watch, and like if it's not, I'm not bothering anybody, you know what I mean? So what's, it's no problem. Like, it's like, oh, well, people getting jealous because, no, fuck, this is some stupid ass shit. Like, this is Instagram, this is social media. Don't be on Instagram. Don't be on social media. Block somebody, like, block a bitch. It's not that hard, right? You know what I mean? So people don't have to be in my jurisdiction, blah, blah, blah. People like, well, all these, like, things are, like, going on in the ether, blah, blah, blah. Put an earplug in, it builds in checks. Like, then, like, I don't hear all this other shit, blah, blah, blah. People make different decisions. You have to make the decision. Make a shit like, let's get reborn. You know what I mean? Be born again. Don't make those decisions. Don't be greedy. Don't be like this. Don't want to know everything. You don't want to know everything. You won't hear all this shit. I mean, assuming this is even true. I don't even think it's true, but like, this how I did. May or may not be true. But like, you don't want to be annoyed by certain shit. Like, don't listen to it. Like, don't watch the TV. Don't, listen to the radio. Don't do any of that shit, right? But like, don't be nosy. Don't eavesdrop at my door. Don't do background checks on motherfuckers. Don't, show up and shit just because you want to just don't do it, right? Then you won't be jealous. You won't be mad, and like your life will be good. That's the idea. Like so, but people make different decisions, right? But if you do those things and you can manage, blah blah blah, like boom, good for you. But don't include me in that shit. Like I'm good. And it's like a lot of people want to be who are below your level, want to try to like play at your level, and this is America, whatever, US, whatever, West, blah, blah, United States, well, I get it, like, racial algebra, like, or algebra, whatever, working something by your bootstraps or whatever, there's a way it works or whatever. Sometimes the challenger challenges the incumbent, but there are rules and checks and all those types of things right in place. It's a problem, like, when people start running roughshod, like, that's the whole idea, right? So it's like, don't do it. You're living your life in a functional age. I gotta keep anchoring these bitches. So, but like, prosecute. So, yeah, I never had a child recently. So, whatever. So, And so, so anyway, but like, so, um, so I guess the idea is just that like, people like, I think the only reason people like, people either doing it for money or because usually you're usually doing it for money. They don't have a good heart or bad heart is usually because of money, and if they don't, or something else that like is a benefit to them, and if they don't, like the game or whatever, blah blah blah. And if it's not for money, if it's not for money in its various forms, reputation, whatever, something not for whatever, then it's usually like from some like kind of base place, like jealousy or whatever, stuff like that. And so and like usually, and jealousy is something that can be corrected, right? Most people, as a character, usually it's a character flaw, right? That can be corrected. Like, you know, I know some people take pleasure in it. Like, some people are motivated by jealousy, no big deal. There's jealousy, there's envy, no big deal. I'm not saying it's bad. Like, people feel those things. I'm not saying I'm better or whatever, or worse or whatever. But usually, if you play your game and people have different, I get it, capacity, I get it. But if you play your game, a lot of times that's how you cure jealousy, right? Like, if you don't focus on others, but you focus on yourself. Like, I'm not saying don't be aware. Like, you can be aware of other things that are going on in your life. I'm not saying don't be aware. Like, I say, well, what happened? Like, you were living your life. Like, you live your life. Like, and you have to get, like, when you're in a road, like, you're going in one direction. But, like, can you drive just as well when you're just focused on going in one direction and, like, following the roads of the road? Or do you have to be aware of, like, the car in front of you, behind you, blah, 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 all that type of stuff, right? But if you're driving in a straight line and you're not really getting off and changing lanes or whatever, like, really, like, you have to, like, you get the idea, right? So don't be unaware, right, of your surroundings. Doesn't mean you have to like do things to set people up in your surroundings. Like, if you just live your life and like, you know, do what you need to do, exercise discretion and judgment with greater experience and greater knowledge and information, right? That's the idea. Like, the Bible's basic instructions before leaving Earth, BIBLE, learn that early. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. But like, if you like, a lot of times rules they're not guidelines, they're rules, but because most times, like, if we write a book that has, like, one book that has, I mean, the law does have nuance, exception, and all that type of stuff. I'm using book generically, right? But sometimes books are important, like, it says discipline to read a book, whatever. But like, so, patience, discipline, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But there are other things that take discipline and patience, right? Men and females are different. Like, females may or may not be more inclined to read a book than a man, right? Men and females are different. So the men are, you know, men are equally, you know, but men, you know, I think God, you know, God, man, woman, right? God, man, female, but like, which way is that cut? It doesn't mean, like, that hierarchy, sometimes lateral, it just means, it depends. There's a lot of pressure on a man, right, to think that he's here. There's a whole lot of ways, you know, and that's like in a marriage usually. Like, if you're not married, then how does that work, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, man, God, man, woman, God, whatever. If we're gods, if all black people, people think like everybody, is everybody God? Is everybody being, no, blah, 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 probably there's a whole lot of stuff. No, some people, like on a chessboard, they're like bishops and rooks and knights and, you know, other pieces, king, whatever, queen, blah, blah, blah. But they're also pawns, right? So is everybody playing the same game? No. So, I'm the only way. Or whatever. Like, it was like, it's like crazy, right? Like there's only one, like, so, you know, there'll be different decisions, right? It's only, like, if I'm the only God, I'm the only woman, I'm the only queen, like, and, you know, like, it's men, like, the men, you know, whatever, others, I don't know, but anyway, so, but like, this is just like, you know, hypothetically, life things. It's like, you can't do this, but you can't defend it, like, telling them, no, like, you never know, but I ought to be giving the game, blah, blah, blah. So, but like, the idea is like, so the idea is just like, and it's like, well, if you can't pin her down or anything, how do you know? Like, that's my whole point is like, why the fuck do I need to pin me down? Like, why do people need to know? Like, I work a job, like, I do what's in the personnel description. That's it. You don't need to know my personal fucking philosophy and that stuff. Like, none of that shit's even relevant. So it's like, you know, I'm not dating bitches, so they don't need to know all my personal, like, information. Like, I don't know. So people are like, why the fuck would they like try to hold me on shit? Like it's like someone said, it was, no, motherfucker, had a person said that, whatever, get the idea, well, if you figure out the logic, if you throw them down, if you cure, blah, 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 like, you know, if it's fair use, if it's in the public domain, it's a whole lot of shit, like, some of the functions of age, like, who made up what, what's the intellectual property, blah, 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 like, that was some TV show someone said, I mean, whatever, you get the idea, move that, I don't know, blah, blah. But, like, so, but, like, Um, so, so, um, so, I was saying like everybody's on right or whatever, but so like somebody gotta put it all in. Sometimes you gotta like wait for that. So sometimes you like sometimes it's preventative, sometimes it's in the moment, sometimes it's secure. It depends on the situation. But like sometimes like when you say stuff, like sometimes when I say stuff or whatever, um, you know, like when I say I don't have a problem saying things, sometimes I don't say things not because I don't have a problem saying them, because sometimes it's like I won't misinterpret it. It's like I can say it and like whatever, like it, like I know everything will be okay, but like I just choose not to say it because I exercise my discretion. And if like if she don't say it, she must be not being fair. She must be fair. She go, it must be. She like no, none of that shit is even true. Like bitches are so fucking stupid. But like so, but when I say it don't mean everybody. I just am saying like the idea like people who are like certain type of people, blah blah right blah. So, but like so. Like in DC, I remember when I was young, like no, it was I'm fuck with no females. That's what you say in DC all the time. You know what I mean? You get older, whatever. That's the idea, blah blah blah. But like so um, so uh, so I guess the point was just that in terms of yeah, what people think. Like people think that they know. I hope it saves because like I'm now at 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. So I just like people will try to like either they're doing it for money, either doing it for like money or its equivalent, or either they're doing it because of like some personal character flaw. And it's like if I say no, like respect my say it's like they can't like you can't change the law, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. It's like whatever, like because it's like they're trying to the law, right? The law is just that like my personal privacy is important, right? So like you're trying to say that like your like ability, like you're trying to make money in some way that you don't have to make money. It's like a lot of alternatives, like constitutional law, like strict scrutiny, like immunity scrutiny, and like rational basis. Like there's a whole lot of ways you can make money, but you're trying to make money this way because of whatever. It's the easiest way for you to make money. Like you're like, oh, it's way that's not self defense, bitch. It's like that's not what it means to be self defense. Like do something else, maybe take a little bit of work, whatever. It doesn't mean like sitting in her up is the easiest way to make money. I'm not a cash cow. I don't have a money sign. Like you see me, it's not an easy target. And that type of shit. Like it's not like I'm like the pot of gold. But like I just like so, but like the idea is just that like my personal life, like my life is more important. Like me living is more important than you like making an extra 5 cents. Like that's not even the equivalent, right? And so you get the idea. Like it's really ridiculous. Yeah. Talk to you later.